football. It's Carlton and Hawthorn from the Telstra Dome. It's going to be an absolute beauty tonight. Carlton 1 win, 3 losses and 1 draw. Hawthorn 1 win, 4 losses at 12th and 15th. In round 6, Gary, this is it for both of these sides. Somebody wins, they go forward. Somebody loses tonight, it could well be back to the bottom of the ladder again.
Yes, indeed. I think it's time to put a little bit of heat on Carlton. They had a fantastic pre-season. The Wizard Cup was outstanding. They got a few changes. Heath Scotland comes back in after missing 2 weeks with suspension.
And Houlihan having a go on the gasper there.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll give him plenty of oxygen to running the game out. But this side has been disappointing. Anthony Kutafiti's named at centre-half back, expecting to play in the middle, I would imagine, to support the likes of Stevens and Lappin. Houlihan's form has been good. Maybe that's the secret. But it's up this end of the ground, the forward line, where they've got some problems. Favola out, DeLuca's got to step up. Lance Whitten, a lot of pressure goes onto his shoulders now. Probably needs to kick 4 or 5, you'd think. Waite's also got some talent. French has been great. The midfield has been competitive, but really, Wizard Cup form outstanding, top 8 expected. They've been a touch disappointing. They need plenty of support on the interchange bench as well.
OK, let's have a look at the Hawks. 2 late changes, by the way. Coming in, Hayes, Smith and Rees, and Franklin is also in, who was out last night. Rufford omitted. Jacobs and Ladson are both out injured. They're the 2 late outs, Jacobs and Ladson.
And they've been pretty good, strengthened obviously by Hay and Smith in the back half. It looks pretty good. The midfield is very, very solid. Mitchell, excellent. The clearances. Clark been doing some run with roll. Looking forward to seeing Thurgood. Saw him last week. He's just great to watch. Certainly stands out. Reese into the side. Williams kicked 15 goals from full forward, second only to Milne and Richardson. Their centre square quartet of Everett, Vandenberg, Crawford and Mitchell is as competitive as any in the competition. Dixon to come on, give some support. Lewis is a very good player, and Buddy Franklin, an exciting talent with young Harry Miller.
I'm rapt that Buddy Franklin's playing. It's great to see him there. He looked like he was going to have a bit of a spell. But the Hawks are up and going tonight. They could be hard to beat, especially if this man's on his game. Spider Everett.
Well, look at his dominance in the middle and his influence. Number 1 hardball gets hit-outs to advantage, but also number 5 at clearances, which says that he follows up his work and he is so mobile around the ground. Been getting plenty of footy too for a big fella. 20 possessions or just under. 27 hit-outs. We know he's outstanding in that area and spending a lot of time on the ground. He is in, dare we say it, Brownlow medal form.
Yes, indeed, as the Hawks come out to play. Gary, you said that it's going to be hard to see if either team can actually kick a goal tonight with their forward setup. Carlton have not won a round 6 game since 1999. 5 losses in round 6. It's not their favourite round of the year. And Hawthorn have lost 6 of their past 7 Friday night football matches. In fact, their last win was against Carlton in 2003. Let's see if it's going to change tonight. Tony Jones is with Alistair Clarkson, the Hawthorn coach.
Well, Alistair, it's amazing. You've only got 5 games under your belt, but this one's crunch time, I guess, for you and Carlton.
Yeah, listen, 2 teams pretty desperate for a win tonight, so promised to be a great game of footy. Friday night footy, great to be here.
Well, it's good to have you on the stage, but just listening and reading your comments through the week, can we expect you blokes to jump out of the blocks pretty early tonight?
Oh, listen, our first halves haven't been great. You know, we've probably, in 4 of the games that we've lost, we've been behind at half-time. The one game we were in front at half-time, we won the game, so the start of games is crucial, and we need to be right on our mettle early in the game, and I'm sure Carlton will be, so if we're not in our game, then they'll pull our pants down.
All right, have a good night, mate.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Alistair Clarkson with Tony Jones as the Blues come out, celebrating the 50th game for Dennis Pagan as coach of Carlton. Last time they met, Gary, Carlton won by 12 points. Spider Everett was best on ground for Hawthorn, Favola for Carlton. He ain't there. He's out for another 2 weeks.
No, and 5 rounds into the season, they're here at the Telstra Dome. They look just so impressive in that pre-season, as I mentioned at the top of the show here. They really do need to find that form pretty quickly. There's enough talent in the side for them to be competitive. What better night to prove it than Friday night football?
Yep, it's all set for a big one tonight. The Hawks and the Blues go head-to-head from the Telstra Dome. When we return on Friday Night Football, this is AFL on 9. Welcome back. Friday Night Football from the Telstra Dome as Carlton and Hawthorn go head-to-head. Toss of the coin here, Anthony Kutafiti's and Richie Vandenberg. You'll notice both captains and, in fact, both teams wearing the blue and white armbands tonight. That is to pay tribute to 2 fallen police officers during the week. Senior Constable Tony Clark, killed on active duty at the Knox Traffic Management Unit, and Constable Rennie Page also killed in a car accident for the Benalla Traffic Management Unit. The entire football community stands firm with the Victoria Police in this week of tragedy, and so too do these teams tonight paying tribute. It's my pleasure now to welcome the rest of the team, the man who has been voted by his peers the #1 commentator in the country the last 2 or 3 years now. Is it 2 or 3, Den? Should be the last 20, but anyway. He is the man, he is the doyen, he is Dennis Committee. How are you, Dennis?
Red-faced. Yeah, good, Ed. Thank you very much. And this is a game both these clubs would expect to win, so it's going to be tough for the loser after tonight.
If there was a logie for commentators, he'd be accepting that on Sunday night as well. Dermot Brereton, well, he'll be getting a logie for something. I don't know if he deserves it, but he'll be there.
Might too. It'll be interesting to watch this game. The longest kicking team in the comp, Carlton, up against the team that handballs the most, Hawthorn.
All right, boys, well, I don't often ask you this. Who do you reckon will win, Den?
Carlton, just.
Carlton with no confidence whatsoever.
Absolutely.
All right, there you go. Well, Derm, I'll stick with you, mate.
Good on you, buddy.
Trent Crowd gone down to pick up Lance Whitmore.
Tony Jones, boundary side.
Well, Eddie, although we haven't really had any rain in Melbourne today and the roof here of the Dome has been shut, very slippery conditions, so we might see a little bit of slipping and sliding as the night goes on. And just on another matter, Angelo Lekas arrived back from Gallipoli at 4:30 this morning, where he was helping represent the AFL over there. He might be bleary-eyed as this match rolls on.
Thanks, Tony. Friday night football, we're underway. The opening bounce, one down by French, charging in Vandenberg, claimed by Walker. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis, Rick Batson missing this week after a medial ligament. He might be back next week. Danny Jacobs playing 11 days after a broken jaw last week. Didn't get through the game. He'll be out indefinitely until his soreness is gone.
French again directs it down. Scotland over the football. Spills wide. Brown hurriedly chopped off by Lappin. Did well to Stevens. Stevens swings it out wide. Coming up on the lead, Whitnell. Couldn't complete the mark. Waite goes over the shoulder. Krog's got it. You heard the call from the umpire.
Ball it long gone, Richie.
Waite's getting the free kick. You had the ball momentarily, got it back over the shoulder, and the tackle stayed on.
Yeah, didn't realise Vandenberg the ball had left. Interestingly, Hawthorn started Everett out of the square, went to full forward, so started with the boy Taylor.
Jared Waite, he'll kick from right on the 50. In fact, kicks from about 55 and gets the distance. Great start for the Blues.
Well, it is a great start, and they need to find some goal kickers, obviously, in the absence of Brendan Favola. And Jared Waite is one of those super talented players that once he gets some work into his legs, he could be anything. And this is a lovely start. You look down at that Carlton forward line, they've got Lappin who started forward, they've got Whitnell who's down there, Andrew Walker. So they're gone for, and Big DeLuca, the other tall marking option. So it's relatively inexperienced when you look at goals.
So Spider Everett has gone forward now for the Hawks. Derm, tell us about Simon Taylor.
Well, Simon Taylor's a former rower from Tasmania, has spent a year or two in the Box Hill Hawks, and has pretty well dominated that competition, gets his chance this season.
Yeah, well, he got the tap there, got it down to Mitchell, and Mitchell, the extractor as they call him, gets a wobbly kick forward, but he's got a bit of distance, and Hodge can run onto it. He can run and keep running here. Good players. The push was in the back there from Wiggins. Did it very well. In fact, held up and beat 3 Hawthorn opponents.
Go on, Reece.
And as a result, we'll get the free kick for Reece just being over the top, as Gary said. And well played.
Yeah, and well, it's almost his own fault. The shepherding effort wasn't good enough. They had 3-on-1. If he kept Livingston out of it, then Hodge was a chance to run onto his left foot.
So well done to Wiggins, who's brought it all undone with a shocking kick. Osmond takes it and gallops off, kicks inside the 50, and the Hawks have got it. Beaumont, the former Blue, deadly on the left foot, likes a shot of goal. Kicked 8 to half-time in a game. I can't remember who it was against.
I think he might have got 9 till half-time.
Oh, it was 9, yeah, but you don't have to rub it in. It was against Collingwood, and we'll never forget it. And Simon Beaumont gets the chance to level the score against his old side.
Thanks, mate.
3 minutes in. And Beaumont, who has kicked exactly 100 goals in his 178 games of football, misses and now adds his 79th career behind.
Amazing, the left footers. He ran right across the face. He aimed it right across the face and pulls it to the near side. Big hook foot.
Rick Stevens to bring it in. Jabs it towards half back. Spawn takes the mark, plays on immediately. That was untidy, intended for Carazzo, knocked away by Williams, who's in peak form, and the ball is out of bounds and will be tossed in. It's Carlton by 5, early going Friday night football.
That'll be a job for Carazzo up against Mark Williams. He's about 6 foot. Carrazzo's been minding the roving forward, but Williams can play fairly tall.
French got his fingertips to it. Over the ball is Mitchell, dragged down by Koutafidis. Mark Williams, 15 goals this season, 13 coming in the last 3 weeks, so he's on song.
And he's had Fletcher in recent weeks, and now he finds himself on a little fella in Carrazzo, so that's the whole gamut.
Over the top, Thornton knocks it about 10 metres. Crawford tried to deflect it to Mitchell, coming through Whitnell over his shoulder. Hay to Mitchell. Mitchell off balance, kicks towards centre-half forward. The mark is taken by Wade. Immediately Carlton on the move.
Good movement.
Scotland. Loretta Houlihan decides to take on the tackler. Thurgood got him. The 233s, and it will come back. But not a bad result for the Hawks there. Thurgood getting across. The hand pass had gone, but he was determined to hang on for grim death.
It's a good free kick.
Houlihan wobbles it forward, doesn't get good contact. Lappin on the bounce. Brown all over him, did it beautifully. Here's Koutafidis, picks it up from 48 metres. The Kouta kicks to the square. Now the cavalry arrives. Almost there off the ground. Was it nearly from Walker? And Dermot's favourite player down there at the moment, Josh Thurgood, takes it over the line for a rush behind.
He has a rip, the boy, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's terrific.
It's like a pull-through, isn't he?
He's got more talent than just that as well. He has a go, but he's got some talent.
Smith goes short, and Bateman takes it just forward, a full back for the Hawthorn side.
Now this guy is having a terrific season. Bateman off his step. Joel Smith back in the side tonight. Little chip out wide. Crawford takes the mark. The umpires tonight, Allen, McLaren and Jeffrey. And Shane Crawford has it, left half back.
You can expect Dennis Pagan to make his team press man on man, because Hawthorn have been possessing the footy, try and go short when they can.
Someone peels off that unsightly mob on the outer side. It's Rees takes the mark, goes towards half forward. Everett juggled it nicely, overcommitted the defender. As a result, goes looking for a man on the lead, Williams, and the mark will be paid. Well, Spider couldn't believe his luck.
A great play there by Brown as an assist. He actually hit the deck so that Spider could chip the ball over his head. Watch this. He almost gets in the way and gets it off the back of his box. He just ducked down underneath it.
Called for the handball. I like this matchup for Hawthorn, by the way. Williams on Carrazzo. Williams has played like a genuine, dangerous full forward. Carrazzo is honest and is used to, as Derm said, playing on small forwards. It's a whole different ball game playing at full back on a genuine leading forward.
Going at number 16 for the season. And in fairness to Barnaby French, he did slip as he landed, but he was overcommitted, and Everett able to sneak away behind. Now Williams making a habit of kicking goals to start the season. He feels comfortable. That's good.
Number 16 for the season for Mark Williams. He's having a very good start to this 2005. You identified it correctly, Gaz, with Williams. He's only 5'11", and Carrazzo wouldn't be that much smaller, but he's a rover minding backman. Now Mark Williams has monstrous explosive, traits off the mark, and his leading is going to be exceptional. He's going to test out Carrazzo. Looking at that matchup, Carrazzo 187 and Williams is 180, yet Williams plays tall and Carrazzo plays small.
You wouldn't mind getting the ruler on it.
Measured him in the thongs.
Oh, the recount, right?
He's in the long stops, you reckon, Carrazzo?
If you get a shot, if he's 7 centimetres taller than Mark Williams.
Measured him in the thongs, mate.
And what about that mix-up there in the centre? There he is.
Yeah, they've been fairly generous down at Carlton measuring Carrazzo there.
7 centimetres.
Got a long neck.
French knocks it down.
Had long hair when they measured him.
Taken down. He was hit hard. He's shorter now. Well, the ball up alongside the centre circles.
Longmuir on for Carlton, goes straight in the goal square. Thurgood follows him down. Terry Wallace and Brian Rule, the Richmond coaching staff there looking on.
Here's the bounce then. Everett up on the ball for the moment. In fact, Taylor there as well. French had it, lost it, held a while. He'll get the free kick. Advantage not paid. No arguing that. Stevens was in the grasp at the time. So French has got the football, looking down towards half forward. Waite moves for him. The kick goes in that direction. In fact, it's beyond there. Coming across Whitnell. Was he dragged down? No free kick. Goes again. They're on top of him in number. Thurgood confronted by Koutafidis. You can see the red hair just poking through, and the umpire wants it.
Mitchell and Koutafidis running together. Now, Koutafidis at at the right time, will try and go forward on Sam Mitchell and expose him close to goals.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on those two, Koutafidis and Mitchell. Mitchell goes right to him, pushes off. Betts, in the meantime, hits the pack. Camporelli, spawn of the arms out wide, wanting the handball out. Well, he would have had to have been Harry Houdini to get out of that one. They'll have a bounce 35 metres out from the goals, Carlton goals. There's the Hawthorn bench. Dixon there, a bit of experience. The other three rookie players, very exciting for the Hawthorn side. It's tough getting it out of there at the moment.
Well, you know that Hawthorn play this chipping around game, a lot of handballs. Carlton play a long game that's a contested effort. So Carlton go man on man, so it's going to go to a contest at every bounce down here. And a lot of this.
Taylor doing well at the moment against French. French, the danger man, if you can get some purchase on a knockout, hit it into the danger zone in front of the goals.
What's the push in the hole? Lack of discipline you see on the screen. They're averaging 21. Hawthorn already been penalised 4 free kicks.
And there's the free kick, and it's going to go Hawthorn's way. The Blues just a bit impatient. In the meantime, there was not one player in the Hawthorn centre, forward of the centre of the ground during their passage of play. This is the 8th ball up already. We've been going 10 minutes into the first term. So as you can see, it is going to be one of those nights. It's going to be a war of attrition out there tonight. Hawthorn, as Dermot has made the point, a chipping team. Carlton like to go long and have a paddock opened up, but the Hawks have really pressed in numbers. Here we go. Smith, as Dermot said, ran hard on defensive 50.
Plenty of congestion up ahead. Joel Smith into Mines. Want somebody to peel off. Well, close to the boundary line, flirting with disaster. Barker takes the mark. It was a solid lead. Good kick.
The reason it's so slow is because everybody is accountable at the moment.
Barker towards half forward. In front, Whitnell. One-handed attempt there by Crode, lurking behind Koutafidis. To Longmuir. He was taken high. He'll get the free kick. Forward of left half back. Longmuir, former Docker. Well, he's a bit lucky. Well,
very lucky.
Maybe more in the back than over the shoulder, but he's got the free in any case. Tough competitor. Kicks beyond the wing. On the lead, in front was DeLuca, lurking behind Houlihan at close quarters to Teague. Scrambles a kick down towards the 50, taken by Hay. Interesting disposal. Betts quickly in, gives it to Houlihan, into Mines. Charged down there by Crode. On his knees, it's hand passed out by Reese. That was well played by Osborne. A clever little kick across to Beaumont. The former Carlton player goes to the middle, and Mitchell running down the centre of the ground is Crawford. He puts it to that direction, but wide of the mark, and getting back Thornton takes the defensive mark. Chance for the Blues to move it now. This is French to Walker. Walker alongside the centre circles. Penetrating kick inside the forward 50. Osborne.
Worked through good. Just kept DeLuca under the footy. Allowed Osborne to mark uncontested.
Did well, Osborne, but he still left Eddie Betts about 10 metres by himself. That could haunt him a little bit later.
Brown gets it off to Hodge with a bit of pace. He tucks the ball under his arm and has 2 bounces. This is how to break up the lines. Now Hodge goes inside 50. Williams just turned Carazzo inside out. And that was great play by Hodge, who released the ball just at the perfect moment. And there is a big art in that, Gary. Tell us from a Williams point of view what you want that man to do when he's carrying the ball through the middle of the ground now.
It's an understanding between forward and midfielder. Now, the fact that Williams didn't lead too early told Luke Hodge that he had time to run with the footy. If he had been screaming for the ball, Luke Hodge says, oh, hang on, I'm hot. He held his ground, double back. Carazzo turned round, he was gone from that point.
To go number 1 in the Coleman medal chase with this kick. In comes Williams and does. Slots his 17th of the season and 2nd of the night for the Hawks.
Yeah, Mark Williams, by design or accident, once he had his opponent Carazzo with his back to the ball carrier, he starts leading, and that puts Carazzo totally and utterly out of the competition. As I say, if he's done it deliberately, it is brilliant awareness of his opponent and the ball carrier. And if it's by chance, well, you take that every day. Yep, league leader now for goal kickers.
So Mark Williams on the forward line, already a person of interest to the Hawks, or should be. Lurking and dangerous on that forward line. Crawford at close quarters to Everett, delays the release. Well done to Hodge, who goes long again to full forward. Who's in best position down there? Barker just bodied back into his opponent, and he's marked 30 metres out. Not sure he was in best position early. Made it his own and should convert from virtually directly in front.
Well, he's now finds himself with Ryan Houlihan. Now, Houlihan's not renowned for his bodywork. John Barker is. Ed Teague initially would suggest that perhaps they're a bit undermanned in the back half.
Barker. Hawthorn have got 3 goals now. Lead by 2.
Yeah, Ryan Houlihan, there must be something in this with Dennis Pagan, because I've gone to the team that I listed them last year, 12 months ago, and Houlihan started on Mark Williams in the back line corresponding game last year, so they must believe that they can get good drive out of him, but still you have to have an opponent to start against, and he just, I'm not so sure that Houlihan didn't think he was going to get some heavy contact from behind as well.
So 3 on the trot now to the Hawks. It was a beautiful centre clearance. Have a look at this. Spider got the tap. Good play from Mitchell to push it. Quick hands from Crawford. And then out to Hodge.
Waited on that well,
for the
didn't he?
second time in a row brings it inside 50 and hits a man on the chest.
That's a significant point, Eddie. 2 assists to Luke Hodge, who started in the middle of the ground. They've got to put some work into him, the Blues.
Hawks have had 4 marks inside 50. Carlton yet to glove one at all. Up they go. Gave that one to French. He knocked it forward. Here's a chance for the Hawks, except Osborne was absolutely ferocious. Brown over the top. They got the smell tonight, the Hawks. There's no doubt about it. It comes out to Clark. Clark now around his body, did it well. Out to the big man in Taylor. Taylor looks up. Beaumont wanted it. Taylor decided to take him on and kick it inside 50. Falling over was Bateman. Was he tripped? No, said the umpire. The mark's been taken by Thornton for Carlton. Chips the ball out wide to Scotland. Normally a good kick. Looks up. Not much on. They're man on man, Dermot.
Yeah, they're pressing man on. Well, they don't have far to go to pick him up because Carlton are doing the pressing.
The handball inside. Spawn eventually came to the man with the ball to open up something for the Blues. Now it goes out to Walker. Oh! Lucky. It could have been good night there. Beaumont. A little bit of mercy on a former teammate as Walker goes inside 50. And the Hawks won't like that one because Beaumont should have tackled, should have cleaned him up, should have put him away. And as a result, Teague is marked 25 metres out. Derm, I don't think you would have had the compassion.
Oh, look, he just didn't go in low enough. This is it coming here. Just got him blindsided.
Wiggins.
It's a horrible decision, unfortunately.
Yeah,
should have tackled.
He's made it at the moment. I reckon he was in disbelief. He thought it was going to be presented to him on a plate like that.
I think he thought he might have dished off, but geez, had to load the tackle.
5 career goals for David Teague. A big one for the Blues. They need this just to stay in touch. So, David Teague has now kicked 5 goals, 3 in his career and 2 behinds for the season. And there's a let-off for Hawthorn and one that Simon Beaumont will be glad to see.
Well, I think it was a let-off for Simon Beaumont as well. The runner went out to him and just gave him a tap on the back, and I'm quite sure it said, you know what you've done, rectify it next contest.
Smith and Hodge combine. Hodge sends it very wide. Beaumont in front. Got support, at least initially, from Mitchell, who had no alternative. He was taken across the boundary line. So Carlton not enjoying this at the moment. Hawthorn mixing it up, playing some frustrating football and then getting them on the counter-attack. More interested faces.
They've got to get Luke Hodge back to the last line, Carlton, if they can.
In front, Everett directs it down brilliantly. Joel Smith, a high ball down towards half forward. That's interesting. In front was Barker as he held. Play on's the call. Taken by Simpson. Chopped off by Miller. Miller is through. 35 metres out. Gets the goal.
Well, that is very good that Harry Miller's finished that off, because one thing he has shown in his couple of seasons at Hawthorn, his first game this season, that's a non-decision. But Harry Miller has shown great instinct for where the ball goes. He smelt where that was going, and he hasn't been able to finish off simple shots, but he does on that occasion. He's made some real leaps forward in his career over the off-season.
Now there he is, a bit of showbiz from Harry Miller. Look at this, picked the pocket, the nice intercept from the handball.
He knew where it was going, didn't he?
He did indeed. Simpson left it out to dry and Harry made him pay.
They got some problems, Carlton, in their back half.
David Teague would be nice and upset because that is an 11-point turnaround from a set shot. Back in the centre of the ground. Barnaby got the tap, but there they go again. It comes out to Smith. Smith with a booming kick inside the 50. The chase is on. Harry M is there again. Teague takes it to the boundary line. We'll have a throw in, 55 out. centre clearances 4-zip all Hawthorn's way.
And that's playing Everett out of the square too. Now this is an interesting one. Scotland's trying to get on to Clark. Clark's trying to get on to Camporelli. And Camporelli trying to get on to Vandenberg. So a little ring-a-rosy.
Life is like that. There's the throw-in right on the 50. DeLuca knocked it down. Mitchell in trouble. Taken away by Walker, at least initially. Well played. DeLuca lost it though. Taylor tried to crash his way through. Mitchell was taken high. That was the Steiner recliner. Well, almost. And Mitchell's got the free kick. He's 60 metres out.
He's pitched about 5 metres closer into the centre of the spine here. Coming around before the umpires notice.
Now Carlton are flooded, Dennis. No one behind the centre circle again.
And just for the moment, Hawthorn looking irresistible. Mitchell goes back. Taken by Taylor. That would have been interesting had he missed. No one up ahead. He would have been involved in a foot race. As the ball goes across to Hodge inside the centre square. He's a long kick.
In good hands here.
36 people within, what would you say, 95 metres of the goals.
Hodge towards the pocket. On the lead, Williams. Almost the mark. And it bounced off his chest. Garanzo has it. Tries to lay it off. Succeeded. Houlihan got it to Stevens, to Thornton, back to Stevens, deep in his own defensive area, under pressure. They harried him, and as a result, they forced the error.
He's going to have to dish off. Nick Reese, he's not long enough to get this journey.
Barker in the square, one out.
Reese comes back.
Too late now.
Thurgood has it. Forward of the wing.
Barker's
to Crowe.
Sorry, Dick.
No, carry on.
That's all right.
Smothered off the boot. This will be interesting now. Everybody has turned around. Thurgood in the nick of time. Gets a hand pass away to Osborne, who was clattered into. Betts is over the football. Sliding in there is Franklin. It's like a Melbourne tram. A lot jumped on. Nothing was paid. We've got a ball up on that other side wing. And there's a man wishing things had happened a little differently. Whitnell, who spoke about that during the week, dumps it towards the boundary. Getting back is Jones. Jones, or rather Smith, gets it across to Osborne. Across it comes. Thurgood lays it off to Crawford. Crawford through midfield. Penetrating kick. Just wide of Barker. Tracks it towards the pocket. Teague is there with him step for step. And now French.
So French up the middle. Plenty of blues here. Waite is one of them. Did it well. Now he has to find a target. Looks up. There's a bit on too. Eddie Betts has got away.
Oh.
Betts has got way away. Now he'll go long to Lance, but the run down was beautiful from Crowe.
Would have stepped in.
Great smother. And Hodge, there's a bit of acting there. Camporelli, did he cop one in the goal, or has he just gone for the gold logie? In the meantime, Bateman. Well, that was a chance, and Chance has caught one there. Diving on top of it is Bannister. Comes out the back to Clark. Up goes Chance Bateman again. Good kick up the line. Here goes Harry. Harry Miller now. Forward 50. Up it goes. Beaumont is the man out there. Was his arms taken away?
Every time.
Yes, he was. And Beaumont will take it just outside the 50.
Trent Crowe's going to climb up the middle here. If Beaumont sees him and he's a chance to come right through. If he looks sideways.
Well, he's looking sideways and decided not to go on with it.
Yeah, too slow.
Off 2 steps, Beaumont kicks it to the square, looking for Spider, against 2, front and square, Reese hits the post.
Well, that's this most simple way to do it. They've got Everett playing half forward. French loves to get back on his own. Now, if Spider can compete 1-on-2 and just force the spill, that's what he creates, opportunities like that for Reese. So Barker sits, he had Teague off the bit, so a little chance now for the Blues perhaps.
Approaching quarter time, adding points the margin. Waite, the big leap from behind. Clark in front, paddles it towards the line, out it goes.
And that was a pretty wasted kick in then. Hawthorn only employed a 12-man zone, which for league standard is pretty easy to pierce.
Anthony Rock there, the man who actually brought down to Hawthorn Josh Thurgood.
Neil Danaher
coached him.
Chris Fagan, he's now on and Peter Curran on the Melbourne coaching staff.
Yes, indeed.
DeLuca over the top, thumped it down, in front Clark, tackled immediately and wrestled down, whistle, and the free kick is going Carlton's way.
Barnaby French in the middle of the ground, who's loose in defence.
Pushes up, takes the mark, wants to go. Thurgood did brilliantly. Got across the boot, ricochets to Bannister. Bannister kicks inside the forward 50. Charging up to meet it down there was Osborne. Betts lurking behind, knocked forward by Hay, picked up by Osborne. Osborne swings it out towards the wing. Beaumont's got it.
And
it's coming back.
Yeah, Osborne took him down.
Carlton free, about 52 metres out.
Josh!
Great smother, Thurgood.
So Wiggins.
He was thinking like a ruckman then. The thought didn't go very quick from the head to the foot, did it?
Wiggins. Not a very good kick. Hawthorn queue up to mark it. Hodge has it. Put himself under pressure. Crode, who's reinvented himself, having a wonderful season on the back of something special last year. Mitchell gets it away. This is Smith. Concedes some ground and goes back to Hodge, to Crode. Little triangulation of fire. They worked it well. Now Joel Smith. Thurgood takes the mark, plays on immediately. That was ambitious. Beaumont taken down. Jarred loose, taken by Crode. Crode's kick not good. Getting back. Wiggins, who had it moments ago. That's a better kick to DeLuca.
Well, it's a battle between the 50-metre arcs at the moment. Uncontested marks. Hawthorn 28. Dermot once again emphasising the chipping game of Hawthorn. Carlton, that was number 11 to Heath, Scotland. Handball's out wide to Thornton, has a bounce. Trying to draw a player up. Koutafidis presents and takes the mark.
Well, he's going to have to go forward, I reckon, at some stage in the absence of Favola.
Third touch to the Kuta, to Lappin on full stretch. Longmuir.
He will, Gary, but he is their best ball winner, and no one else has really been finding it in there.
Let's have a look at this. Campo on the Logie weekend. Whoa, down he goes.
I thought he threw it. Yeah, but Kuta is the one who can find it for them, so do they rob Peter to pay Paul?
They are impotent at the moment.
It's not good. It's not towards the line by Crode. It's out of bounds. Who better than the doc?
Well, you can prescribe something.
Dr. Viagra, are you there?
Yes, Ed.
Yes, but you something to tell us?
Johnny Barker probably gone for the night, Ed. He's done a quad on his left, on the right on the chase, just in the last contest 3 minutes ago. You see him on the bench there. This is Ed, striding out. I thought he was going to do a hammy because he's got a history of them, but that quad will restrict him all night.
Rock and luck. Osborne out of the congestion towards the wing. Franklin.
Going to have to hold it up here.
French back in his favourite spot across half-back.
Quite happy to hold it up. Comes back to Hodge. Probably the key to this team now.
Well, this is his 10th possession, Luke Hodge.
Osborne high towards the wing. Clark will need to go. Camporelli did brilliantly.
He has a good effort.
Yes. Plays on immediately. His first possession. Kicks inside the 50. All Hawks there. Longmuir will need to go. It's 4-on-1, and the 4, as you'd expect, prevail. The kick from Franklin towards the wing. White got under it. Overcommitted. Now Miller is away. One bounce, his second. Running down towards the 50. On the move is Williams. Cleared him. Runs loose behind the pack. Getting back is French. It's not a given. He'll pick it up, the big man. Sliding over is Crawford. Kept it alive. Knocked it across to Dixon. Dixon bends it around, but he's at the post. In fact, he hit 2 of them. A cannon.
He had 2 Hawthorn players in the middle of the ground lining up to Brown and Lewis. But, gee, they would have got another goal had they not allowed Barnaby French to sit in the hole, because Williams had Carazzo cold, had nowhere to lead.
Bit stiff with that one, Dixon. That's the second post, that not only for him on that kick, but for the Hawks tonight. So they could have been out to a very handy lead. As it is, it's reasonable at the moment. 19 points, a minute 20 left on the clock. Carlton at no stage have actually put together a passage of play yet that has looked like being a goal. Spawn now kicks long to a pack. It's like the schoolyards again. Kuta thought he was back at Laylaw. Couldn't quite hold it. Thurgood got it up the pack. Over to Buddy Franklin, the excitement machine. He kicks inside 50, 2-on-1. And the one was good enough to take it. Jordan Lewis. These young, exciting Hawks, Dermot, you're excited.
Well, look at this boy. He's just turned 18 years of age. I can't remember being 18 and built like that. He's tough as they come, that kid. Passes off to Crawford, who's run pretty hard in there.
Yep, and good presence of mind for a young man who's yet to score in league football. Crawford, in the meantime, takes off, sets it up, has looked up, seen his mate Jonathan Hay just saunter down from full back, and Hay now opens up a nice angle to aim at. I was making the point that Lewis could have blazed away for his first score in football, but did the right thing, kicked it to the Brownlow medalist in Crawford.
And Johnny Hay's got the shot here. He's run very hard. He's on Lance Whitnell, who didn't chase him hard enough down the ground. But for a simple shot for a league footy player, this is not through yet.
Hasn't kicked the goal since round 14, 2003.
And he's still not going to get through.
What was that?
That's a fullback kicking at goal.
No, that is inexcusable.
That actually looked like somebody who had just landed in Australia and said, I'll try and kick a football. Yeah. That was unbelievable.
He's actually altered his entire kicking motion because he was kicking at the goal.
That could cost the side a game, and I know this is league footy. I mean, that is inexcusable.
Stevens to Spawn. Well, there is some good news. My wife wouldn't have kicked it either. Here's Spawn, right half back, towards the wing. Everett, the juggled attempts at the mark. He's going to get a free kick. Advantage is paid. Mitchell just over the head of the man wide out there. That's Hodge.
Have a look at Johnny again. It's a walk, and he never gets into motion. And when he strikes the ball, he's still walking as he flat foot on the right, flat foot on the left. It's
the worst shot at goal I've ever seen.
Oh, ever.
Oh, come on! Haven't you seen Richo's one out of the goal square last year?
No, but at least he looked like he was going to kick it.
Everett knocks it down. It was a mirage. Hand pass comes across to Betts. Betts goes over the top to Stevens. Quarter time at the Dome, and Carlton with a lot to think about. Dennis Pagan, in his 13th AFL coaching season, has seen the Hawks start quickly. They are a fast-starting team. That's been something in their makeup this season under Alistair Clarkson. But it's more the way they're playing. They lead by 20 at quarter time. 4-4 players, 1-2 on Friday Night Football.
Tonight on Fox Footy Channel, Jared Healy, Robert Walls and Mike Sheehan, all leaders in their chosen field and award-winning journalists, discuss the game's key issues with its most influential stars, power brokers and coaches.
Once you get in game situations, I think you're there to win a game of footy.
On the Couch tonight, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern.
Win your mum a great Byron Bay getaway from Harvey Norman this Mother's Day. There are 100 three-day luxurious Byron at Byron Resort and Spa prizes to be won. Your mum can enjoy this idyllic lush rainforest setting, miles away from the day-to-day worries of life, with a getaway for two, including a Sea of Serenity package at the Byron at Byron Day Spa. Just make a purchase of a great Mother's Day gift from Harvey Norman, fill in the entry form provided, and your mum's in the draw. Make your mum's day with Harvey Norman and the perfect hideaway. Byron at Byron Resort.
Here's a wingnut come up with the idea of coming over here. On your spuds.
Sparkles back there.
Hang on, boys.
Pub.
You're Jay, the biggest whinger I've ever heard in my life. See, what we did in Wayne.
Great idea to come out here, Spark.
Stop your whinging. That's it, boys. We're going back to Vic.
When you live in the driest state on earth, you don't want anyone else drinking your beer. West End Draft.
Know the story this May on the History Channel. As the anniversary of VE Day approaches, we commemorate through May with programs surrounding the last days of the war in Europe.
You could see that something big was going to happen.
Hitler's bunker, Germany's war, the liberation, and amazing stories of bravery in secret lives, hidden children of World War II.
You can do whatever you want. I'll keep her alive.
And on May 8, VE Day itself, back-to-back episodes of The Last Days of World War II. Weekdays through May, a special look at some of the world's greatest authors and artists.
It was the first acid trip for everybody, even if you weren't doing acid.
Take a frosty voyage to a land of contrast with a terrifying past.
People would try to escape. There would be 3 people. 2 of them would agree in advance. The third one was food.
See how science is predicting the next big tsunami and the tragedy of what happened in Rwanda in 1994.
The killing was on an industrial scale.
Know these stories and much more this month on the History Channel.
Last week on Fox League teams.
They have both been omitted.
What happened to blooding youngsters, Jay?
We're still blooding them. But you don't blood youngsters and expect them to play 22 games a year.
I know that, mate.
They tend to go up and down a little bit.
Well, let them hit their damn patches and see what it's like.
Fox League teams, Thursday on Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to Telstra Dome at quarter time on Friday Night Football. Carlton 1-2-8. Hawthorn 4-4-28, leading by 20 points. It could have been a lot more. Williams, the multiple goal kicker on the night with 2. Barker and Miller. Barker off with a quadricep injury. We'll find out more from Doc Larkins in a few moments' time. While Jared Waite kicked the first goal of the game, the only one for the Blues so far. Doom.
Let's have a look at the match stats here. You know, second from the bottom, the uncontested possessions. Hawthorn possess it much more. There's no big surprise there. What Dennis Pagan would be really dirty about, though, is the third up from the bottom, fourth from the top, contested possessions. Carlton he would back them in to beat Hawthorn in the contested possessions. They're down on that. Hawks would be very happy getting first usage of it and then can possess the footy around the field.
86 to 35 total possessions. That's the equivalent of five good players in the positive for Hawthorn. Let's have a look at the Cooter, Gary.
Well, they're down 10-4 clearances as well. This man here, contested possessions #1, clearances #1, hard ball gets #6, loose ball gets #6. Played more time than any player in the competition by virtue of the fact that Carlton have played 2 extra minutes. But this man, the decision now has to be made, where do we play him? We know he can get in the middle and help get that clearance tally up. But without Brendan Pavola, so much focus onto Lance Whitnell, maybe at some stage this fella's going to have to go forward and see if he can't kick 4 goals. Because as it stands right now, they look not one bit dangerous when they go inside their forward 50.
OK, Tony Jones has been eavesdropping. Tony.
Yes, well, I've got to say, Alistair Clarkson pretty happy with the way things panned out in that first quarter, which would come as no surprise. Spent quite a bit of time labouring over the whiteboard there, leaving a lot of the talking to Todd Viney, his assistant. But Alistair Clarkson, he's not a ranter and a raver, that's for sure. But I suppose when you're in that position, why would you? Just very quickly, win, lose or draw tonight. This will be a bonanza for Carlton. A terrific crowd in for this Friday night football. The top deck, very full. Second layer, just the same. They're still starting to come in. So, look, I'm hopeless at predicting crowds, but you'd have to say in the low 40s at the moment.
Good on you, Tony. Tony Jones there. Of course, Alistair Clarkson ranting pre-season. A lot happier now. Pete Larkins has got all the news, though, Pete, particularly about Barker. What's going on?
Yeah, look, God, the frustration's almost palpable for Johnny Barker, Ed, with a left quad strain. That's normally a week extra than a hamstring, so that can be a 3 or 4 weeker just on the sprint. Soft tissue strain right down the front of his left quad, sitting out on the bench, sat there through the quarter-time break, icing up. And as I said, the look on Johnny's face, he knows he's had trouble before, and this is probably going to cost him 3, maybe 4 matches potentially.
Thanks, Doc. Disconsolate. Start of the second term, Friday night football. Hawks lead it by 20 points. One down by Taylor, sort of. French charges in, ricocheted off him, down goes Bateman. He's got the free kick, pushed in the back.
They're tackling and smothering. It's been absolutely first rate, Hawthorn.
Work it forward yet again. This is Thurgood. Got it from Osborne. Chips out wide Franklin. A late inclusion. He's about 80 metres from goal. Not his best effort. Down towards the pocket. It bounces out of bounds just inside the forward 50.
He's kicked a spear pass then, Buddy Franklin. And it's come off as an absolute mongrel. It's gone as a floater, and it's still punched through the air about 50 metres. He can kick the cover off it, this kid.
Tony Jones.
Well, I told you I was hopeless at predicting crowds. I said low 40s, 48,000 at the moment.
You're right, Tony. Count them. You're not doing your text now, Tony.
Everett knocked it down. Camporelli gave it to Johnson, who was dragged down. He kicks it about 10 metres. It bounces out of bounds. We'll have another throw in. So Carlton under enormous pressure. Starting as favourites tonight, only just, but Hawthorn giving them plenty. Boundary throw in from behind. Thornton got a fist on it, sends it back towards the middle. Bannister to the run of Johnson. Something of a super sub these days. Kicks down towards half-forward. Whitnell taken away by Crowe. Stood up in the tackle. Osborne to Thurgood. Goes to Crawford. Left it behind. Thurgood comes again. Tried to go back to Osborne. He scrambles a kick inside the forward 50. Dixon surrounded. It spills wide to be picked up by Hodge. Hodge goes from 40 metres. It's true. They increase their lead, his first.
Well, we put the ISO camera on Luke Hodge just to see how he's playing, see this quarter here. Crawford, got taken down there. Followed up pretty well then. Came through with the footy. Just, you watch him there. And he comes in the screen there. He's got very good at finding his way onto the left foot. Most left footers are, Gaz, you know, they just wrong step people instinctively, but he's having a night out.
He's
on number
fire.
11.
On fire.
Possessions.
So Luke Hodge, 11 possessions so far. Hawthorn are the best starters of any side this season. The opening 5 minutes of quarters, they've kicked 20 goals, 16 to their opponents, 9 goals, 8. Well, they're out of the blocks again. In fact, they've kicked the last 5 goals of the match since the Blues kicked the opener of the first term. Waite got one within a minute 10. And since then, it's been all Hawthorn. 2 to Williams, 1 to Barker, 1 to Miller, and now 1 to Hodge. And the Blues are in big trouble.
I reckon whoever's playing on young Michael Osborne would best be advised to give him something to worry about. He's just running through the midfield, picked up 10 possessions also off a back flank.
Wiggins, the third man up for Carlton. Hodge again trying to crash through. He's held up on this occasion.
He has actually been one of the loose men because Carlton put a number or two behind the footy, and both he and Hodge have been sort of mixing in and out of the middle, loose across half-back and doing enormous damage.
And he's standing next to Cooter now.
Spider, number 1 for taps. Did so on that occasion, but Johnson read it nicely. French has a second go. Wiggins couldn't get it away. In goes Vandenberg. Tries the don't argue. And we'll have another bounce. The Toyota sign getting a bit work out there at the moment.
Williams is in the goal square with Carazzo. Got all the 50 to work in. If Hawthorn get a clean break here, look out.
Spider arches the back, gets it over the top. Taylor, the unlikely rover. Clark finds some space, did it well, opens it up. Now the handball over the top, magnificent. Mitchell uncharacteristically mucked it up. It spilt to Johnson. Now they go, the Blues. Houlihan's kick was a good one. Lance couldn't quite glove it though. Off the hands of the pack. DeLuca, like a rover, bending over, handball's over, wait for his second, and gets it. Badly needed one for the Blues.
So often in league footy, guys, we see an error, a blatant or glaring error is capitalised in the most punishable fashion, and that was it there. Sammy Mitchell, he must have looked at who was coming past him at the time, thinking I'll dish off, and they do capitalise on it there. Good spoil by Crode on Lance Whitnell, closed him down with speed, but he had enough support around him there. Much needed for the Blues.
Bit happening down the goal square. Carazzo and Williams at it. Dixon's gone down to lend a hand. Goes all right, Ben Dixon, I'm told. So this is the start of it. I think that's his best bet, Carazzo. Few jumper punches that missed.
Nothing there.
You're going to throw them. You should keep the chin up next time at least and watch where it's coming back from.
It's got a ring to it, hasn't it? Doing the Carazzo. Knocked down by Everett. Taken by Stevens. Stevens long inside the forward 50. DeLuca from behind. He was magnificent in that last goal. This time he's been penalised. Coming over the top, and Hodge gets another possession.
That's fortunate.
Looked like a genuine marking contest.
Plays it off. Brown, little chip. Lewis waited. Made the mistake and it knocked away by Kudafide. Smith gets it away to Hodge, who spirals it out towards the wing. Takes a Carlton bounce initially. Whitnell took a while to arrest the football. Eventually goes to Stevens. The short one over the head of White. DeLuca in 2 minds. It was fisted away down there. Well done by Hodge initially. Aided and abetted by Lewis. It comes to Crawford.
Oops.
Crawford gave it to Vandenberg. Vandenberg gets it back from Franklin. He's dragged down. And the umpire says he was held without it.
That is arguable whether Richie controlled the ball then. He never took full clutch of it, but he just kept patting it up in front of him.
Quick fire stuff.
Spider's got to be the target unless there's room for Williams on the lead. There's a thumping kick, Richie Vandenberg.
Still a lot of space.
Hold to play on, just forward of the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50, ill-directed, intended for Everett. Thornton goes back, takes the mark, plays on. Camporelli deep in his own defensive area. Needs to be precise and was. White, who's booted 2 goals, runs through centre-half back, goes to half-forward. Wiggins outnumbered, gave a contest. Loose ball at the back, gathered by Crode, slips it away. The big man did very nicely. Taylor across to Osborne. In a couple of minds, eventually curls it around, and Hodge. Those things you can't buy. Hodge nonchalantly took the mark and then too nonchalantly went looking for Smith. Coming through was Teague, and he puts it out of bounds on the full.
Another Hawthorn tackle. Pressure, pressure, pressure. They pride themselves on it. Young team. 7 smothers to 1 as well. So defensive acts working beautifully for Hawthorn.
And that was a beautiful hit there. Osborne, Dermott, he timed it beautifully. He made him feel it and put the pressure on, so the kick went out of bounds on the full. That's as good as it gets.
That's the epitome of a crash tackle, that one.
Hodge, in the meantime, with his 15th touch coming up, gets called to play on. So he goes up the line. And as you can see, it was over the head of the pack. Reese.
Lance Franklin just got to read that, Ed. I mean, Hodge is a beautiful kick. He led under the footy.
Houlihan kicks up to the forward 50. Lance from behind. They're all up high. Walker was up there as well. Picked up by French. Handball's over the top. Lance grabs it. Starting to assert himself. Walker a chance. Can he run onto it? No. Brown. Too good. took the bump and then took off. Now he has a bounce. Away goes Brown. 3 bounces. Runs to half-back flank. Kicks to a one-on-one contest. Crawford was the one. He turned him around. He beat Stevens point blank. Now he's in a bit of trouble. He left it behind. Flicks it out the back. Hawthorn have got the numbers. Clark gets it down. Everett handballs out. Back to Clark. Tight on the boundary line. They don't want to give it away. Back to Everett now. Now they'll go inside 50 with a kick, and it was a beauty because Williams presented from the goal square, timed his run to perfection, and Everett honoured the lead and put it lace out on his chest. The jumper from the Carazzo jumper punching early on, a bit torn. But Williams will have the last laugh if he can slot through his third. And that, boys, is the 11th inside 50 mark to Hawthorn. Carlton have had 1.
He is just explosive off the mark, Mark Williams. The first 5 metres are as quick as I've ever seen anyone in the game.
Williams from 55 metres out. The gun is back in the holster, and it's not required on this occasion anyway. Hasn't used that this season. Just getting accustomed to kicking goals. It doesn't need the fanfare. Dennis Pagan works the phone. In real trouble, Carlton.
And that matchup will continue to be trouble. If they can keep that space open for Williams, there's not much that Carazzo can do.
Thornton, the short one, he's in the back pocket. Man on in the middle, that's Bannister. He's got it now. Cruising past his Camporelli. Goes to midfield. French has taken the mark. A runner alongside. Thought about Spawn. Then didn't go. Bannister pushes up the ground yet again. Chips it down towards half forward. Chambers has it. 60 metres out. He is a long kick and normally a very good kick. And that is precise. But some misunderstanding. Intended for Wiggins. Koutafidis hand pass to Whitnell. Whitnell goes looking for Lappin. Claimed by Vandenberg. In there is Johnson. Crowd one holding the ball, but the umpire says it was held in. That's Scott Jeffrey.
Gee,
and we'll have a bounce about 30 metres out.
Confidence there, lack of confidence by Lance Whitnell not to accept the footy and just evade.
Mother is Barnaby French tried to get it out. Bateman stripped of the ball. Koutafidis in. It's hot and hard in there at the moment. Over the top of the ball there. He goes Taylor and was lucky. Disguised that well because he had no intention of knocking it out.
Cooter as well, Dermot had pushed forward, which I think he needs to do. Lance Whitnell yet to get a kick. Only went at the footy one-handed. Could have had a mark 20, 30 metres directly in front.
There he is. Lance gets a touch on that one. Hodge again underneath it. Stood up in the tackle, then flicked it out wide. To the boundary line he goes, and we'll have a throw in 40 metres out from the Carlton goal.
Now, some players in the comp, you allow them to win the footy, and it doesn't really hurt you. Statistics mean less as we go through time, but Luke Hodge is up to 16 already. He's a kind of bloke, if you allow him 35 or so, he's really going to hurt you.
Boundary throw in. Taylor reaches over the top. Did well. Got it down to Lewis. Bateman. No real pressure on. He decides to run it out. And hugs the boundary line with a kick. That's clever. And it goes out. And the umpire says throw it in. He gained about 35 metres. And virtually kicked it straight, given the turn of the boundary line out there. Just hugged it.
Wiggins now with Hodge and just needs to sit on his shoulder.
Sam Mitchell up against Brett Johnson.
Hawthorn by 21 points, and forward of the 2 ruckmen, Koutafidis has been penalised, and the free kick is going to Lewis.
He did it beautifully, a young man there.
That's a good kick across the ground, and it hit Joel Smith in the head. Advantages paid. There you go. Mitchell hand passes to Crow. Everything falling into place. Taken now by Everett. Tries to shrug a would-be tackler. We've got a whistle. And it's going to Carlton against the man with the ball. Most unusual.
He tried to fend the tackler off. Did Spider Everett. It was deemed to be too high.
Even those tattoos are quivering. He's not happy.
There you go. You don't see that often, do you? Too high against the man who's actually got the ball in his hands, but we saw it on that occasion. This bloke's had a good night. Taylor, under pressure. The 243s go at it.
You mozzed him in.
That's what 99's line once, wasn't it? You're worth 243s, 86. As the ball comes out the back. One for all the Get Smart. Hodge, under pressure. Ball knocked out of his hands. Good play. Good tackle from Brown. Saved the day. Vandenberg found it, then went back. He's gone. Gone. Gone.
And they've lifted their intensity, Carlton, which is a good thing for the game and the contest.
Look at this. He got a little bit of daylight and then went the wrong way. Didn't have a whole lot of opportunity, but he had some. In the meantime, Houlihan inside 50 as the Blues have lifted. Up towards Waite. He could be the man. He's the only goal kicker for the Blues so far, with 1 in each quarter. And Jared Waite will get a 50-metre penalty.
lose it. Let's go for 50. Pushed him in the head on the ground.
There you go. He gets the 50. He'll kick his third to keep Carlton in it.
Well, this is the challenge for a young Hawthorn side, is they've enjoyed a period of dominance, and now the first challenge has come at them, and they've done an undisciplined act, which has given away a goal. And Waite's going to kick his third.
On the line, mate, on the line. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Waite kicks his third. Blues are back in it.
Now this is the question that's being asked to him, and this is where I guess Hawthorn's leadership group need to step up. Osborne been very, very good, but you might have much preferred that Waite had to take that kick from out towards the boundary line. Let's have a look at it. 50 metres for... reasonably soft.
No, that's it.
That's it.
But that's all right. Look, that's what it's for.
You're going to be joking.
That's what it's for.
That's a very good mark by Waite.
Dennis, let's have a look at this 50 again. This is what it's for.
Very heinous crime.
Okay, well, that's what it's for. Now, look, you wear that now. It's not the way... No, I'm saying it's in the book. You wear it, and as long as that's the standard, we know what we have to deal with for the rest of the evening.
Disturbing the
we don't like it.
Back in the middle.
That's what it is.
French knocks it down.
Derek Humphrey-Smith can explain that all he likes. That was rubbish.
Don't you start. Lappin's getting a free kick.
No, the tide has turned here. The momentum has swung a bit.
Lappin kicks inside the forward 50. Whitnell was carried forward. No free kick. Taken away by Brown. On the overlap at Smith. Pushes up to half-back. Goes to the wing. Beaumont stretches and takes the mark on his chest. Hawthorn just need a steadying score here. 35 plays 20. It's certainly Carlton have lifted in the last couple of minutes. Beaumont, the former Blue, goes down towards half-forward. Franklin comes hard. Got the contest. Split the pack. Working in front, Houlihan taken down, jarred out of there. Vandenberg goes in, back towards Franklin, claimed by Bannister, and it's out of bounds, a throw in.
A good effort here from Franklin. This is the sort of thing you got to do if you're a key position forward. Make these blokes think twice about dropping back into your space.
Throw in right half forward.
Beaumont sits off the pack to the right. He'll flush through.
French in front, over the top, Spider, knocks it forward. Koutoufides running out of space. Great tackle, got him down. Dixon, and they work it forward yet again. The Hawks, Vandenberg kicked it well inside the 50, and Spawn did brilliantly, coming back with a flight of it. Very courageous player, and now 50 goes to the Carlton defender.
And this is what would be annoying, I reckon, Alistair Clarkson more than anything. They've not responded all that well here, the Hawks, to a little bit of pressure. Some cool heads need to prevail.
Well, that's the 50 because he took the mark. He wasn't in the contest and he checked in.
Hilton over the top. Now the Blues a chance. Carazzo goes to the square. Lappin from behind. No, it was Walker, in fact. Walker couldn't quite grab it. Bateman hit the pack hard. Good play. That was emphatic football. And then hit his teammate on the chest. Smith looks up the line and under pressure. Good pressure again by the Blues. Waite was the man. Over the line, out of bounds. Stevens will bring it back in. Does so quickly. That's great football. And DeLuca gave him a look, but he finally took the mark. The last 11 minutes, disposals 32-31 Carlton's way. Inside 50s. Finally, they're starting to lift the Blues. 8-4, 2 goals to zip. All Carlton stats in the last 11 minutes of football. We've played 16 and a half in the second term. Adrian DeLuca, well, he could make Hawthorn pay for some missed opportunities in front of the goals. 15 points the margin at the moment. The Blues have kicked the last 2 of the game. Both to Jared Waite. DeLuca comes in. He's kicked 13 career goals. Make that 14. That is a magnificent kick. Good shepherding on the line. The Blues have kicked the last 3. They're well back in town.
Well, what the Blues have to do is they're playing man-on-man footy. We know the way that Hawthorn play, and if their intensity comes up to an acceptable level, at some stage during the game, they're going to start winning the footy. They're going to win more than their 50-50 share, or at least a 50-50 if they play man-on-man against a possession team, and they take it to them, and that's what's happened in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
So Jared Waite has kicked 3 goals, and he was the big assist for DeLuca, putting Smith over the line for the out-of-bounds on the full.
And DeLuca, in his way, has been a catalyst as well. Crawford had it, lost it. Koutoufides to Scotland. Feeds it back to Camporelli. The Blues rampaging now in midfield. Thwarting that, though, and taking a strong defensive mark is Hodge. Plays on, swings it out wide. Into space, Crawford. By his standards, very quiet tonight. Goes up towards the wing. Awkward half volley. Beaumont down low. Well played, Bateman. And it's socketed away by a teammate, Vandenberg. Tracks it towards the line. Bannister takes him down. And that ball is not coming out. Well, holding the ball is the call. Well, maybe he did, but it was the quick and the dead.
He drags it in here. What's...
Oh, yes, he does.
A little fumble didn't help him. Richie Vandenberg.
Thornton. Short. Carrazzo has to wait. He's got it inside the centre square. Back to Thornton. More run, pushing the lines now, Carlton. Thornton looking towards half-forward. Franklin's got him. Dragged him down, in trouble. Falling to the ground. White kicked it backwards. It was taken there by Carrazzo. He kicks inside the forward 50. In fact, the kick came from Camporelli. Taken down Chambers. Now an opportunity for Stevens. Tries to work it back. Just misses. Well, they combined brilliantly inside the centre square. Carrazzo gave it off to Camporelli. And again, that run from behind the ball looking dangerous for Carlton. This game has been transformed.
Stevens has gone forward. I reckon Crawford was playing on Stevens and had done a reasonable job. So Stevens has now gone forward.
Well, Crawford leaves it out up in the air for a while there, but Spider was good enough to get across. Took the mark. Now he brings the ball inside the Mitchell. Up the corridor, he can go as far as he wants. Looks up and sees Franklin. Beautiful kick. Franklin now releases the handball to Bateman. From 50, he lines up. Chance Bateman. Flying shot at the goal is offline though. And through for a point, and Dermott, the kicking is going to kill Hawthorn here tonight.
Well, they've missed a couple of easy ones. You think of the Johnny Hayes shot as well. That's a gimmick. That's a soda for a midfield. I tell you what is hurting the Hawks at the moment, structure-wise, when they bring the ball out of the back line, is Johnny Barker at half forward, or not being there now because of that thigh injury. Just gives them a little bit of solidarity, a bit of structure that he can lead up at a ball carrier.
Houlihan kicks off. Strong by Koutafidis. Shane Crawford sitting down with 9 possessions. Koutafidis across half-back. Half-distance kick gathered nicely by Stevens. Turned around and ran into a dead end. Teague gets a hand pass away to Scotland. Back in the direction of Stevens. Gritted his teeth. Knocked it forward. Chambers in there. Gathered by Franklin. Claimed by Stevens. Gets a handball away. It was untidy. Bannister. Upended by Bateman. Brilliant stuff. Chance Bateman. Won the hard ball. Got a hand pass to Franklin. Franklin, the defensive side of the wing in trouble. Pops it up. Stevens played it to his own advantage. Into the path of Chambers. Men ahead if he can pick it up. Well, he knows they're there. Knocks it to Koutafidis. He lines up. How will it bounce? Well, awkwardly enough, it's still a live ball. Windell just escorted across the boundary.
What you need to
will be thrown in.
What you really need to do now, just for a young lad, is Lance Franklin. You've got to take him off after that. He didn't chase when the ball was still in his vicinity, and that was super effort by Chance Bateman. But Lance Franklin, the poles apart, the effort of Bateman and Franklin then. He's a talented kid, but it won't get you everywhere.
I think Cooter would have liked to have had that one a second time. From 30 metres out, he normally would put that 10 rows back. He does well, though, with the Shepherd. Lappin from the pocket. It's high. White comes in from behind. Couldn't quite hold it. Miller's there. Thurgood gets the handball going. Bateman over the top. Miller under pressure. Stood up in the tackle. He's put Crode under the hammer, though. Crode quickly gets the kick away. It's over Spider's head. DeLuca from 45. Kicks to the square. Lucky bounce required. Hodge didn't do enough on that occasion. We've sung his praises tonight, but he needed to get both hands up to mark that one. He didn't. And we'll have a ball up 15 metres out from the Carlton goal. The Hawks are lucky. Pressure is on here at the Telstra Dome. Chance Bateman, well, no wonder he's coming off the blood rule. He has thrown caution to the wind in his attack at the ball.
Yeah, just back on Lance Franklin. He's just playing, he's Leroying a little bit, left-handed, taking a bit of extra time, trying to swing around that kick that he tried to drill earlier in the night. He's got to play percentage, give the first hands.
Bateman off and Crawford comes on. And with Crawford comes back Callum Chambers.
Midfield possessions this second quarter. Carlton have had 42, Hawthorn only 38. Normally for a break-even, Hawthorn need about 10 more.
Gary, gets contagious, this one-handed business.
It does. He just needs to be told. Just play the percentages, son, and all the flair will come.
come a bit unstuck in the last 10 minutes or so, the Hawks, with a few of those.
Yeah, Luke Hodge just went back. Not that he's done much wrong at all, as Chance Bateman gets some work, but no, they were in front because they tackled ferociously, smothered hard, and played good, solid footy.
Tricky one for the Doc, that one. He's digging in there. Throw it in. Look down behind DeLuca. Over the football, Camporelli immediately attracts a crowd, and the ball slow and coming out, but the umpire decides it's actually under the Hawthorn play.
A torn dreadlock, I think.
Stand up, guys.
That's where, right
off the boot.
It is. Just the heel of the boot going over the top from Bannister. Looking for a needle in a haystack, the Doc. There's an opportunity for any one of three Hawks. Thurgood taken high. He'll get the free.
But as you pointed out, guys, he's better than a goer. Last week he showed brilliant hands on the lead, playing full forward, and he's got very good closing pace for a backman as well now.
To Dixon. Longmuir bearing down. Dixon claims the mark. Miller on momentarily, closed down by Waite coming across. Waite with 3 goals alongside his name. So Dixon for the moment just holding up in the back pocket. Got a challenge for the call. Hugs the boundary. That wasn't a bad effort under the circumstances. Just a half-distance pass, and Miller comes up with it right on the line. 4.5 minutes out from half-time. Hawthorn being challenged now, 36-27. Goes back to Thurgood. Hay presents himself across the ground. Can they build from the back? Hay goes back and finds this football. Nothing much on, so he thought about Miller. Now he goes wide to one-on-one, taken by Crow, who decides to take Whitnell on rather, and Whitnell did very well. Got him and has got the free kick. Advantage will not be paid, or will it? No, it's coming back.
That's not the percentage play. I guess he looked at Lance and thought, if I can get through the tackle, I'm away. But one-handed again, footy in one hand. Just got to. It's almost metaphorical, but grab this game by 2 hands again rather than one.
It's, as you said, it's the last 10 or 15 minutes, Doom. Somehow the intensity's gone off. It's all going one-handed for the Hawks.
Yeah, they're getting well. They're doing it well, Carlton. They've lifted their intensity. They're pressuring the ball carrier.
Tips it inside. White's got it again. What a night he's having. Umpire hasn't called play on. Surely touch, was it?
No.
He said, no, I'm not going to pay 50 for that.
He's going to take the mark here. I think there's some confusion.
Instead, there's nothing much to that.
Well, Hawthorn thought that he played on, I reckon.
Yeah, let's have a look. He had a look, but that was enough.
Took a little tiny baby step.
A little bit over the mark, but not enough for a play-on call.
And good umpiring.
Think about it there.
Good umpiring on that occasion. Scott Jeffrey.
Some might have called it, but it's, yeah, the correct decisions, mate. Yeah, Joel Smith, first game back after a couple out with hamstring, just finding it hard to match up on Jared Waite.
So Jared Waite for a career best 4 goals in a game, and to put the Blues within 3 points. Jared Waite comes in for his 3rd of the quarter. Yeah. You wrap him up, don't you?
Played on.
So Jared Waite has now kicked 3 goals, 1, and now the Blues. It's their turn to let the Hawks off the hook with some ordinary kicking. He knew as soon as it hit the boot.
One player that felt the pain every bit as much as Brendan Favola. He's sitting in the grandstand thinking, just get us through with a win, will you?
2 minutes into the quarter, Hawthorn led by 26 points and were careering away, and now we've been playing 26 minutes, and Dennis, it's an 8-point ball game.
Yes, and very much on the line, and as Franklin takes it across the line, it'll be tossed in.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, he's a very good player, Jared Waite. A couple of games this year, he's just ran out of legs, but the big possession winners all with Hawthorn at the moment, and most of them in the back half of the field.
The boundary throw in alongside the interchange gates. 36 plays, 28. The margin was 20 points. Hawthorn's way at quarter time. Stevens feeds it back. Lappin gets it across to Simpson. To the run of Chambers. He's 70 metres out from goal. Sets it up about 20 metres out from goal. Whitnell in front. Hay with him. Betts arrives quickly. Goes to ground. Nothing doing in terms of a free kick. Certainly travels fast.
Is it just me, or is that rule about the hitting of the arms and the initiating contact being a bit loosened tonight?
Well, it has. They sent out the umpires actually, or the AFL sent out a missive the other day saying that they're going to give you a little bit more leeway in a contest.
They're certainly doing that tonight.
If you've got eyes for the ball, they're going to let it happen.
I reckon Lance Whitnell, as a free kicks paid to Hawthorn, I reckon Lance Whitnell twice tonight would have had free kicks last week.
It's always hard when at round 6 you start mucking around with those rules, but no one's been that wrapped with it, so...
Yeah, I think they've umpired it better tonight.
Yeah, no problem with the umpiring tonight. Dixon up the line. Hodge. Crawford. Hawks now just starting to get their chipping game going again. Crofts had 10 possessions for the night. Oh, now running into a bit of trouble. Chips with the left foot. Thurgood marks on centre wing.
Now, this is where Johnny Barker's being missed, because he would have been able to lead up from 50 metres away and receive it over that distance. When you're chipping 15 metres each time, you just... It's like the old Space Invaders. You just shuffle back all the bad guys.
Wouldn't you kick it to Peter Everett, who's inside 50 on his own, and get your crummers at his feet?
19th possession for Hodge. A thumping kick. Here's Everett. Crummers needed at his feet, and there they are. Mitchell, off hands, no. Pickpocketed. Carazzo gets it out to DeLuca. And DeLuca goes long on the burst. Carlton have got this going. Waite takes the mark. They've got runners in the centre. If Waite can see them, he does now. He kicks inside, but the cavalry arrive late in the form of Osborne. They've got it with a minute 52. The handball was, well, it was a shocker. That's the only way you can really describe it. Mitchell does better than everybody, though. He beats 3 opponents. He wanted the ball better than anyone. Forward it goes, punched away by Houlihan. Can somebody get 2 possessions in a row here? Mitchell flicks it over the top to Vandenberg. He stands to now. Miller is all alone. If he can pick it up, he can't. He bounces it. Now he's under pressure, kicks inside the 50 and gets the mark. Clark on the lead with a minute 24 on the clock and ticking.
Well, this will take his best and more.
3 goals for Clark this season, 14-12.
Got his best ever kick down, is that what you're saying?
Well, he's not a good kick. That's the weakness in Timmy Clark's game. He's a super runner. He's got super application. You do everything right, but you've only got so much talent that God has given you. And it ain't kicking for Timmy, not over this distance. It'll take his absolute very best.
14 goals, 12 in his career, 52 games. He kicked 3 goals for the season so far. And
gonna go close.
You tipped it. 1 point.
I would hate you as my caddy. This will take your best and more. You just put the club back in the bag.
Lay up.
There's Houlihan to himself. Out of the square, short one to Stevens. Missed it. Chance for the Hawks. We're down at 40 seconds. Miller gets the hand pass away to Thurgood.
That's a great kick.
Jags it brilliantly. It was. He was off balance and just controlled the power of the kick. He kept it low to Crawford, who'll line up, approaching the siren, about 25 metres out, 10 metres in from the line. Look at that.
Actually, he kicked it in his running motion. That is great
Rocked
control.
it into space. That is a fantastic.
Crawford, right behind this one. He puts it through. What a timely goal.
Josh Thurgood. I want to go back to the Thurgood. That was a bit nice finish from Crawford. He missed an important goal in the last quarter last week, so that didn't help. But don't underestimate this kicker, Josh Thurgood's. He summed up in a split second how much room he had, where he had to drop the footy. He actually took a step in between before his boot hit the ball. This was an instinctive, quite an extraordinary kick.
But he doesn't alter it. He actually kicks it on the running action.
That is a fantastic effort.
You know, the great part of that was he was prepared to take the hit.
Absolutely.
He knew it was coming. It wasn't a problem.
They're the players you love.
Pretty happy with that.
The blokes who are prepared to take a hit to get the kick away cleanly. This stuff running around and kicking the screw kick around corners to miss it.
Yep. Anthony Rock, who coached Thurgood, saw something in him, a diamond in the rough. One of Broadmeadow's famous sons, Anthony Rock. And there you go. The Hawks got it right at the end. They needed that goal to get it back out to 14 points at half-time after Carlton had kicked 3 on the trot and Waite missed a simple one, having kicked 3 himself earlier and set up DeLuca for Carlton's other goal.
Coming up on Tuesday night, Bobby, the man who was the youngest player in St Kilda's premiership team. It has to be Alan Davis. Plus a man who kicked arguably the greatest goal ever in AFL football.
Well, it's either me or Phil Manassa.
Grumpy Old Man, Tuesday on Fox Footy Channel.
What have you guys got to say about the rumour you're prepared to swap Goodwin for Treadray?
That's absolutely true.
The official AFL collector cards are here. Get the advertiser every day for your card tokens and start collecting.
Wednesday, don't miss a special Mother's Day edition of AFL Love Match with Rebecca Wilson.
Look at that face, Mum.
Young guns Daniel Harris and Kieran McGuinness team up with their mothers in a show that goes right down to the wire.
This is a tied-up ball game.
AFL Love Match Mother's Day special, Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
It's all happening at the Telstra Dome. Lovely to see the man yelling out, "You're gutless, you hear footsteps there."
Timeless call in football.
It is. You can't go to the footy without hearing that one, and you sleep with a light on too as well. 43, he's 29 at half-time.
He made that call.
Have a look at this. The Blues really came back hard. Hawks got out to a 30-point lead at one stage in that second term, but as the Fremantle Dockers have a good look at what's going on here in Melbourne, let's get into Tony Jones with Brendan Favola.
Well, Brendan, we've had a few shots of you sitting in the stands there looking pretty sheepish. Yes.
Very good watcher.
No, especially when it's of your own doing too, I suppose.
I get a bit too excited when the boys get the ball, and when they don't, I just get a bit nervous when I'm watching. I'm not a good watcher, so.
And do you get a little bit down on yourself, feel even more guilty when you see them locked in a battle as they are?
Yeah, you wish you were out there, and it's disappointing I'm not. And it doesn't look like they're going well up forward, and they're putting a lot of pressure on, and Lance needs to get a few more free kicks. I think they keep hitting his arm, so I feel sorry for him a bit. But Wadey's bobbed up and kicked 3, missed that one there. Should have had 4, and the pressure they've been putting on is really good, and the defenders are going. Everyone's playing pretty well, and I reckon they're going to crack. So hopefully we keep tackling. Our pressure's been good, and we'll hopefully come away with a win.
All right, and they've certainly got you working anyway, haven't they? You've done the President's Dinner, a corporate half-time affair, and also 3 radio interviews.
I worked harder bloody not playing than I have when I play. So no, but it's good. It's just it's good for the club, and it's a big night tonight. It's a big game for us, and hopefully we can get the 4 points.
Hopefully for your sake they do.
No.
All right, good on you.
Thanks, mate.
Go on your Fev down there with Tony Jones, and well, there's Lance. He's going to start on the bike this third quarter. In the meantime, let's quickly go down to Pete Larkins. Is he on the bike for any other reason other than he's been a bit, well, touchless tonight?
Yeah, that's the only reason that I can see. No, I think he's just they're just starting him on the bench at the start of the third quarter. Lance Whitnell, he'll keep warmed up there. Won't be long before he gets out, and an option comes up. Just to highlight again, Johnny Barker in the first quarter having done a left quad head, and will sit out the rest of the game for Hawthorn on the back bench, and probably sit out another 3 weeks after that. But everyone fit for Carlton. Just 3 on the bench for Hawthorn.
Okay, Lance Whitnell, 5 disposals till half-time. Dennis Committee with the third quarter of football. Friday night football, AFL on 9.
Hawthorn lead it by 14 points. One down by French, taken by Johnson, dragged to the ground. Stevens had it, lost it, held a long time. He's getting the free kick.
A lot of upside still. The Blues, Whitnell 5, Campbelly 6, Lappin 5, Scotland 6, Kutafiti 7. So they've still got a lot of improvement in them.
Probing kick inside the forward 50, intended for Kutafiti's off hands. Hay leads back. It's a bit slippery out there. Hay with his problems. DeLuca took him down. Appeals to the umpire. Meantime, the ball is gone from that pair. Crode had it. Head down Osborne. Tries to feed it back. Mitchell gets a hand pass to Vandenberg. With some time now, Vandenberg, with precision as it turns out, close to the boundary line. Thurgood in the opposite pocket.
Kutafitis has gone forward for Carlton.
Beaumont has it fisted away, and it goes out of bounds. Spawn getting a fist on that one.
Of course, I've got to ask you, the Carlton setup now with no Favola obviously rubbed out, and now Lance Whitnell on the bench.
Kuta in the goal square, so see if he can't pinch a couple of goals before Lance comes back on, I'd suggest.
Taylor works in front, reaching over the top. Everett intended for Mitchell. Johnson brilliantly. Chambers, Camporelli tracks it towards the boundary line. Hodge closes him down and knocks it out. So the boundary umpire will do some more work. There's the matchup we were talking of.
And with Kutafidis going forward like that, he's their best winner of the ball around these types of stoppages. Quite dependent now on Brett Johnson to step up for the Blues.
Taylor, too tall there for Thornton, tapped it down. Mitchell unable
That's going to be hold the ball. He's calling it knockout. You heard the call from the umpire.
You're holding it in. Brett, your free kick. You're both holding it in.
Well, we'll see this again. Mitchell had no chance there. I mean, some behind him. And there's where he had his chance, and it was a good umpiring decision.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he called it early. We could hear it up here through the mics. Knock it out. Brett Johnson, as I said, it's quite dependent on him now to try and win the ball at these stoppages with Kutafidis going forward.
He has kicked 1 goal 3 this year and 16 goals 19 in his career. So not the deadliest of shots at goal, but this is a very important one. And unfortunately, true to form for Carlton fans, he has missed.
Matthew Lappin also holds a bit of a key to this. He is a class act, Lappin, and has been very, very quiet in the first half.
Brett Johnson, 45 possessions in the last 2 rounds, coming off the bench. Knows how to find the football, but his finishing has been disappointing. Crawford. There's Bateman. Very good second term to Brown. He's at right half back. Bateman cruises past. Not required. Brown back towards the middle. And Crode, runner-up in the best and fairest last season. Now Brown stops. Creates a problem for himself and comes back to Crode. Play on's the call. Didn't travel to 15. Now Bateman. Time-consuming football. Bateman towards the wing. Beaumont had it knocked away. Taken by Spawn. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Down there is Chambers, outmaneuvered by Brown. Brown takes the mark. 30 metres out from his own defensive goal. 13 points the difference. Hawks started red hot tonight to Smith. Bateman pushes up from half back. Gets around a would-be tackler. Swings it out wide. Now a chance for the Hawks. Crawford has it. Nothing much on inside the forward 50.
He's calling for Williams. He's almost demanding he come at him.
Well, he goes towards the pocket. Eventually settled for Franklin. Franklin and Teague, but that was certainly almost like a stoppage there.
Why didn't Mark Williams go? That was quite extraordinary.
He misread it. If he had to run 5-10 metres with the ball, Crawford, the lead would have been 35 or 40. Yep. The ball would have carried 50. Would have been perfect.
Set up for him.
Everett.
Oh, that's a great tackle.
To Hodge, it was great. He was held without the ball too. Didn't get the free kick.
Yes.
Let's have another look at that one. I don't think Hodge was acting here. Let's have a look. The grab comes there.
One over the shoulder. Missed the umpire.
Except if it's too high. But it's a ball up. 40 metres out. French Grove though by Everett on his favoured left boot. It's a high up and under. Out they come. Mark required. No. Good play by Spawn. Punched it away. Lappin, who has been quiet. Osborne's been fantastic tonight. Concedes some ground. Franklin in trouble. Just got the handball away. Nearly got the 360 turn. Now Osborne's kick. A bouncy ball. It's beaten everybody. Got through about 5 players. Thornton though stood resolute. Got the handball going to Spawn. Now they're building something up. The Blues up the middle of the ground. It goes to Scotland. Good control. Scotland looks up. Has players on at half forward. The kick was a beauty too. Finds his man. And Chambers has got it inside 50. Should go back and put this through. 45 metres. They'll be 50 by the time he takes his kick.
It's a good kick.
But no angle to really worry about for Callum Chambers, who has kicked 42 goals, 29 in his career, and 3 goals, 3 in season 2005.
We tend to see him from this distance on the run, and he's a very good striker of the footy when he's in general play.
Just needs to get the timing right here. From 51 metres, he sticks it out to the right, and it stays. And didn't time it onto the boot at all, just going for the extra distance. So another point to the Carlton side, who are starting to kick themselves out of the game as well. 4-7, 6-7.
At the other end, David Teague's playing on Lance Franklin. I guess at such a young age, the height advantage doesn't become so important.
Crawford plays it wide, and the mark is taken by Brown. Up from right half back. Rees offers a hard-running lead, but now he's just behind the man on the mark. Brown goes down towards half forward. How will this one bounce? Awkwardly for both players there. Chambers did pretty well, got very high and headed for the boundary line. Some compassion from the umpire. It'll be thrown in at right half forward.
Well, this will be interesting here. Sammy Mitchell, now Stevens goes to him, because Mitchell will be the target player for
Stevens with Crawford.
Taylor's in front.
Peels out.
Everett from behind. Taylor this time knocks it forward. Vandenberg knocks it towards the 50. Camporelli approached it rather slowly. Vandenberg came hard. Now Crawford, a chance, gets around Houlihan, pulls it back to the pocket with intent. Standing beside the behind post, Franklin, who goes across the goal face to the opposite pocket and finds Osborne. Osborne runs around and kicks a goal. Even when they kick a goal, they like multiple possessions. His first.
Well, that seemed pretty bad from both teams, I'd have to say, Dennis, because the Hawks really, well, they mucked around with it. Then Lance Franklin should have gone back and drilled it. From that distance, he passed across the face, and he should have and he put the bloke in the same position he was, except on the opposite angle. Now here, that's a pretty easy shot for a league footballer, left footer from there. And look where he kicks it to. He's in no better angle on the other side. Carlton should have checked.
So the margin out to 18 points. Except for Camporelli here, ankle injury. Just caught underneath Vandenberg there will go to the dock. I'll have a good look at it, but didn't look too flash. A bit of a rolled ankle there. 18 points the difference. Since quarter time, Carlton have kicked 2 behinds, and the Hawks have kicked the goal that counts. Courage personified there by 3 players, including Hodge, who's got it again. Burst through. That's magnificent play by Hodge. Over the top it goes to Clark. Clark's kicking, needs to go long to the square. That's what he does. Up it there it goes. Williams punts away from Carazzo. Spider goes the big thump. It bounces off Williams' leg. Spider goes again. Great play. Lappin goes to the ground. Doesn't seem to be out of sorts tonight, Lappin. Everett in there again. Osborne slams it on the boot, but Thornton marks in the back pocket for the Blues.
Chambers on to Stevens here.
Yeah, Chambers has it. At half-back, Stevens, shy of the wing, has got it now. Looks back towards the middle. Goes wide of Walker. Barely got to spawn. It may have taken a deflection. Beaumont took him down. And that ball fails to come out. The umpire said there was no prior opportunity.
Great tackle.
Wasn't it? It would have been so easy for him to lay a clumsy tackle and go in high there, but he really stuck that one and went low.
Bounce inside the centre square. Taylor in 2 minds eventually directed it down, but straight to Johnson, the former Hawk. Found Wade on the bounce. Now Walker on the overlap. Goes inside the forward 50. Searching. Kick. Koutafidis on his knees. Over the top was Crow. Lending assistance is Hay. Breaks away from DeLuca. Sends it up towards the wing. Hodge has been so good tonight. Looks back towards the middle. A choice of 2. Taylor thought about giving it to Clark. Still thinking about it. Well, that was the third of 2 options.
It was a long way down there.
And now we've got a ball up.
Now, that's what I said last week. For a ruckman, the bounce is a long way down.
This is a bounce and a put on the ground at the same time.
He was lucky he bounced it.
That's delusions of adequacy.
He was lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball in the end there.
No one tackled him.
Prior opportunity.
You got to tackle him.
Scotland got
it out. Well done.
Simpson crashed through. Walker kicks it forward. Inside 50 for the Blues. Next 5 minutes, all important in this game. Smith now over the top. Didn't have enough on it. Win a second time. Brad thrown to the ground by Wiggins. Good tackle, good play all round. Will have a bounce just inside the boundary line, as you can see. 65 metres out from the Carlton goal.
Walker gone to Luke Hodge now. Using some fitness out of the juniors of Carlton to tag Hodge.
They all set up for a boundary throw in, basically, then.
They did.
And it was a bounce.
Crawford trying to get on to Stevens. Camperelli trying to get on to Crawford. And Tim Clark continues to try and get on to Camperelli.
Bannister on Bateman.
Crawford 15 possessions. Camperelli 6.
We could throw a blanket over about 30 players here at the moment, but Scotland was the man who got the ball out. Dangerous kick forward. Great play by Scotland. Got it out. Here's Wade, who's kicked 3. 3 goals, 1 for the night. He's now got 4. Career best for Jared Waite.
Joel Smith, been watching Joel Smith on Jared Waite. He was relieved of the duty late in the second quarter, but got the job again as Camperelli comes to the bench with a crook ankle. But he's trailed Jared Waite all night, and I guess coming back from that injury, he's just not looked as sharp as we know that Joel Smith can be as well. And this bloke is a class act. Waite, you cannot give him that much space. You can't give him first shot at the footy.
So the margin is back to 12 points. It was 14 at the major break and 20 at quarter time. Hawks have led virtually from the get-go, apart from that first goal kicked by Carlton. Everett goes up with French, the 2 number 1s. At their feet, Stevens hooks it down towards half forward. Brown tries to knock it away from Chambers. Chambers the better recovery, taken front on by Mitchell. Got it to Johnson. Stevens again. Forces a path, still he goes. Bateman picked his pocket. He comes away with a footy. A little chip out towards the wing. Going back, wonderful courage from Crawford. He certainly flirted with the idea of continuing on. He was prepared to go where his momentum took him, and then a step more. Crawford kicks inside the forward 50. Williams will need to come from behind. Wonderful effort. The best and fairest last year. One of the reasons why he's fearless in that situation. Look at that again.
That's play on.
Oh, he's gone. He's off.
Clearances this third quarter. Carlton 8, Hawthorn 2, and Brett Johnson, who's gone into the middle, who's got the ball now, has 3.
Johnson at right half back. 7-7 plays 5-7. For the loser, it's going to be tough. Johnson towards the wing. DeLuca from behind. Crash the pack. Brown goes back. That was cheeky. Tried to claim it off hands to Rees. Opportunity for Hay. Did pretty well in that situation. Back to Rees. He works it around the outer side. Kick towards the 50. Off hands and out of bounds. It will be thrown in.
Simon Taylor coming off the ground.
Let's go to Doc Larkins, Pete.
Yeah, Scott Camperelli pretty sore in that right ankle and lower shin area after the incident where he rolled and then had the player fall on him. And he's in up the race with the Carlton doctor having it checked. Looks a bit proppy to me.
Pete, have you had a good look at it?
Looked at the vision here. It looked didn't look too severe, so it wouldn't surprise me if they can get him back.
Okay, we'll come back in a moment to Pete Larkins when he gets more on that. In the meantime, here's Clark for the Hawks, rebounding. Nowhere to go. Now he gets a lead.
Come on.
He has. Harry Miller's come on. He's got it. Betts tried to psych him out of it. Almost did. Now he's trying to psych himself out of it. Miller just gets the kick away. Inside 50 was a beauty. And out comes Williams. He wants the 50. Thornton was lucky.
First half.
Lucky not to get sucked in a bit more there.
He's still the most dangerous forward, I reckon, on the ground, this bloke, Mark Williams. If they can just win possession through the middle, keep it open, not much Carrazzo can do. Yeah, it's 50.
Oh, there's no 50, but there's no point doing it. Fourth mark inside 50 for this man, Mark Williams.
He's pretty good odds from here too.
Well, there's no less aggressive than Osborne on weight.
For 50. Kicked. 2 goals tonight, 2 goals won. A big kick for the Hawks just to keep Carlton at bay. Nice, easy action, no problems at all. And Williams gets goal number 3.
Well, that's a rarity, Gary. Over the last 35 minutes of footy, Hawthorn with quick ball movement. They've been chipping around the back line. They try and find a loose man, but it took for Harry Miller to come off the bench, so he was unmarked, even though he did his best to bounce it back over his own head. Carrazzo comes off now, so Mark Williams will get a new opponent. Doesn't look all that well. Carrazzo, ankle, knee, something.
Hawks by 18 points as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, certainly Carrazzo couldn't chase Williams on that last lead. I know Williams got away from him, but if you just watch this incident here, he actually just tweaks the knee and the ankle, and he's up the race having that check, probably more of a knee.
Actually, now that happened, Thornton goes to Williams, which I reckon is a better matchup.
Everett wins it down, stolen away by Stevens to half forward. Chambers was up, coming back with courage there was Hay. Spills wide of the pack. White, 4 goals to his name, taken down. Emerging with the football is Mitchell. Swings it out wide. Miller, he's been tidy in the last few minutes, and again, off the foot, finds Thurgood on the lead. Too far out to score. Lays it off to Hodge. Penetrating kick.
Jeez, a lot of carnage behind the footy there.
Absolutely. And you can see the 2 Carlton blokes down in the pocket.
Now, Nick Rees has taken his man into Thornton, and there was a big crash, and two Carlton players and 1 Hawthorn player ended up on the dirt. See if we see it here. You don't. He's already broken out. He continues to be dangerous. We'll see it here. And, that's fair. That's probably a free kick. Rees closer to goal.
Hodge continues to push up the stats, 24. Wonderful kick there, and moments ago the quick hands on the wing involved in a 1-2 with Vandenberg. And as a result, Williams' confidence is on the rise. He's got 4 now.
Harry Miller once again, they went to him on the wing, and once again he finds a leading forward, Josh Thurgood, who's already gone to the bench, having a rest now. But his foot passing tonight has been very good, young Harry. 11 possessions, so not dominant. Thurgood led up.
Just on this, as a defender, playing on Mark Williams, you surely have to start 10 metres in front rather than side by side. If he's as quick as you say, you can't do that.
Well, Will record pace for marks inside 50. Hawthorn are 17-5. Unbelievable tonight. Williams has kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and 2 goals in the third quarter. He loves that end, the Coventry end. He's got 4 for a game high as Vandenberg gets it out. The Hawks can split this game wide open now. Free kick, high tackle, free kick to the Hawks coming back to Bateman.
So just watching the other end, Thornton is standing next to Mark Williams. In fact, standing behind him. You'd be suggesting there's a free kick there. Did he get in front?
No doubt. Bateman playing a great game tonight. Now Jonathan Hay inside 50, just hooks it forward, hoping for the best over the head of Williams. Here's Crawford close to the boundary line. He takes it to the line. We'll have a throw in. Chance Bateman, you see a lot more of him than I do. Tonight is a night, coming-of-age night for him, I reckon. He's just really playing hard, good football.
He's been super all this season so far. He's Hawthorn's leading possession getter, but he just has a rip at everything. Alistair Clarkson really enjoying it in the box there for a few minutes.
Stevens to Koutafidis across the body, high ball to the wing. Carlton with plenty of representatives off hands. Bannister to Whitnell, who goes with the outside of the boot, not his intention. Out of bounds on the full. That was a terrible effort as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis Carazzo gone for the night. He's actually pulled a calf muscle in that funny incident. Didn't look like it from the replay, but he's actually done a calf, and he won't be back tonight, I'm pretty sure. Camporelli's still having his ankle looked at in the race.
Here's Crode, got it from Hay, chips to space, held bounce for Mitchell, okay. Houlihan initially stays off him and then simply fell down. Mitchell steals away, goes towards half forward. Everett on the lead, 60 metres out from goal. Wheels around, looking down towards full forward. Not a good effort. Missed by Teague, picked up by Koutafidis. Gets the hand pass away to Simpson. Simpson in the back pocket, pulls it back to the wing. Break for Carlton. Houlihan, 3 of them, side by side. We've got ourselves a convoy. Back towards the middle goes Houlihan. Beautiful kick to Betts, a runner alongside. Betts decides to go alone. He's through. Betts 35 metres out. That will be a team lifter. His first.
You know that a well-drilled player would have given off the handball here. As you see this come in, Eddie Betts has got it. A well-drilled player would handball into the sea, cocked it, didn't give it. But what you've got here is a kid who says, no, I can kick this. This is the way I play. Hangs onto it. Just confidence in his own ability. It's wonderful to see that a young fella steps up and says, right, this is the way I play footy. And he goals.
Eddie Betts, good play, knew what he was going to do. He was always going to kick a goal here. And boy, did the Blues need one. That's their first goal in some 8 minutes of play. The Hawks kicked 2 in between, so it's 3 goals to 2 for the term. And what was a 14-point deficit at halftime is an 18-point deficit now. As Koutafidis gets the ball out of the centre, Carlton go forward, but Osborne is having a wonderful night tonight.
Been really good.
Great courage takes the mark. Sweeping handball at the Brown. Just wants somebody to present. Chips forward, looking for his skipper. Vandenberg knows he had a man front and square, but he took the mark anyway. Whoop. Fell over.
Got Spider down the line. Now they'll man up Carlton. They'll press man on man within about 40 metres of Richie Vandenberg. Try and force him to kick down the line to a contest.
That's exactly what's happened, and Teague's got the front spot over the top, though. Buddy Franklin.
It's the height advantage he enjoys, so they should have the confidence to go to him one-on-one with Teague.
Beautiful timing as well. Franklin on a thumping left boot, kicks it up to a one-on-one contest. A bit of grappling going on. He's got the free kick Beaumont anyway. Now he was held by Spawn.
All his range from here. He won't worry about it. He's just going to line him up from here. He won't worry too much about the pressure of the kick here, so he'll be able to swing through it and kick it naturally without an overextension through the kick.
Beaumont has kicked 1 behind for the night. He's kicked 1 goal 2 for the season. 100 goals, 79 in his career of 178 games. This is a big kick coming in for the Hawks. Bends it back, he likes it. That's what the left footers love to do. Bend it back like that. And Simon Beaumont gets a badly needed goal for the Hawks.
That kick with Simon Beaumont, I don't know, in golfing terms, you get a close little putt with a little bit of angle on it, goes, you baby it up to the cup and it won't drop.
Exactly.
You go about 4 or 5 metres away and you've got to slam it up to it. As long as you don't get too far out of your range. And you kick through it, you whack through it, you hit to the back of the cup. He seems more that type of player. Puts undue pressure on himself closer in.
There's a bit when you see the interchange there, Dan, with Camporelli, who's been injured, and here it is here.
Right ankle.
Right ankle, or knee.
And knee.
And also Lappin, who, as I think Ed said, it just seems to be out of sorts tonight.
24 points the margin. Simon Beaumont getting that last goal. 152 games for Carlton. Was traded for David Loates back in 2003. Here's Koutafidis. He carries it like a loaf of bread. He did brilliantly. Across to Scotland, who kicks inside the forward 50. Whitnell fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Needs some support. Goes back towards the middle. Johnson traps the half volley and kicks it. His first.
Well, Lance Whitney's just got to do something. It's as simple as that. I mean, you've got your big guns out. You've got Brendan Favola out. One big gun does it in the middle of the ground. Cooter, who tried to do something up the forward line. Trent Crowe played Anthony Koutafidis beautifully as a forward. So go back to the bloke that you're paying the bucks to play forward line and just say, give us something. And Lance did on that occasion. Great assist to get the ball across to Johnson to kick the goal to keep him close enough, but he's just got to do more, Lance.
Been goal for the last 6 minutes of play. Williams for Hawthorn, Betts for Carlton, Beaumont for Hawthorn, now Johnson for Carlton. And still we're an 18-point ball game. Beautiful hit that's picked up by Crawford. Found a bit of space. Kicks long inside 50. That's good direct football. Beautiful kick, and Beaumont can go back and give us a facsimile of about 3 minutes ago.
Slightly, he might have a little bit more carry, 2 metres, which might make the difference. Tell you what, Brett Johnson is the main player in this match out on the ground.
Got an open goal square if he goes for it here. No one back, so he does. Loads up, didn't quite get onto it. Off goes Crawford. Thornton marked it. Now, Carlton are away. Houlihan with 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. They need to get another one. Need to be within 2 goals, you reckon, to have a chance in the last quarter. Now, Davies gets away. In fact, it was Bannister. My apologies, as Bannister kicks inside 50. It was an awkward kick up the side of the boot. Awkward one to go at. Longmuir taken underneath it. Osborne gets the handball back. Vandenberg back to Osborne. Good pressure, though, by the Carlton forwards. Mitchell inside to Dixon.
Dixon immediately confronted by Johnson. Bounces off the would-be tackler, goes to Mitchell. Short one is under Hodge. Really, he's put a stamp on this game. It won't be his fault if the Hawks were to drop it. Goes out wide to Brown. 80 metres from home. Too high for Williams. Behind the pack, the crumb is gathered by Houlihan. Across to Stevens. Stevens with plenty of time to Teague. Teague running up towards half-back spot. Spawn goes in that direction. In fact, beyond him, taken by Scotland. Now it's Spawn inside the centre square. Probing kick to half-forward. White has taken the mark. He's about 55 metres out. He's booted 4. Carlton trailing at the present time, 49-67. Just over 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Both these clubs looking for their second victory of the season. Jared White, the distance, could test it from 60 metres out. Sets it long. Will be touched right on the line, if in fact not marked. Off hands. Dixon charges into the pack, going in the opposite direction, intent on conceding it behind, and his wish was granted. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Scott Camporelli has reappeared. He's on the exercise bike for Carlton. Dennis, believe it or not, he's got his right knee heavily strapped up with a medial ligament strapping. So when he's twisted and gone down, it looked like the ankle got trapped, but obviously the knee got pinched, boys, and that's a medial ligament strapping. Chance Bateman has done a shoulder, and Hawthorn are trying to get him off the ground.
Okay, Pete. We'll get more on that. That's bad news. And Chance's shoulder being tested out as we speak by Jordan Bannister. The kicker in the body, up towards those players' direction. Bannister went hard. There's Bateman, knocked it out. He did it well. Spills to Dixon. Bannister, hot on the trail there. Kick forward from Mitchell. Good kick. Osborne, centre wing, takes the mark. They've got runners in the middle of the ground if they can get it that far across. Pushing the back. Free kick right in front of the umpire.
Campbell Brown's out here on his own on this wing, has been for a long time.
Reese has got it. And now Beaumont sneaks forward as well.
He's got very short kick neck, Reese, and knowing that, he normally kicks short as well.
And as Dermot says,
it doesn't have much distance in his penetration.
It's a good short kick, though, to Crawford, who's hooked it up with the left foot. Wasn't a flash kick. Good play by Williams. Look at this, Buddy Franklin. Just as well they blew the whistle, because he was almost running on the people in the front row.
Makes a difference when you go forward to Williams. Campbell Brown had the ball a minute earlier and missed. This is an attempt to tackle from Bateman, but just he needs to drop it short. Know where the strength of Williams is, and that is his pace. The last two have been on his head.
Under 2 minutes till three-quarter time. DeLuca directs it down. Mitchell immediately claimed by Johnson, taken to ground. He seems unconcerned as Bateman, though. He doesn't seem to be distressed.
I do know he's got a very good pain tolerance, Chance Bateman, so he'll stay out there having a rip at it.
What's that? DeLuca knocks it down. Charging into the pack, Bannister, robbed of the football, picked up by Walker. Kicks it about 30 metres around the outer side. Simpson falls to the ground, but not before he knocked it to Koutafidis, who feeds it back. Stevens in 2 minds. Bit his match there, and again well played by Hodge. Sliding in his probe. Tackled by Koutafidis. Ball spills wide. Here's an opportunity for Rees. He's got a sense of humour. He just chips it around the corner, and Teague goes back. and takes a very good defensive mark. Carlton with their backs to the wall for the moment. Hawks beating every challenge. 67 plays 50 on Friday Night Football.
Koutafidis has come up onto the ball now. He's brought Crode with him, but what this means is that Kouta will be fresh enough to run out the last quarter on the ball if need be in there.
Teague around the outer side. DeLuca was up. Ball spills behind. Mitchell running out of space. Gets past Betts, concedes some ground and goes back to Smith.
Hawks have kicked goals in the last part of the quarter. The second term, and if one here is going to be very, very, very dangerous. With 35 seconds left on the clock, the captain Vandenberg marched just 35 metres out. You could see it building for about the last 20 seconds.
The big play as Bateman comes to the interchange bench, the big play was the change of direction out to this bloke Williams, and once that happens, it opens up one half of the ground for either players to run into or other players to lead out from the square to.
Yep, looks pretty fatigued after that charge, Richie Vandenberg. He does run exceptionally hard. He's a powerhouse runner, little Rich, but he looks fatigued.
19th mark inside 50 for the Hawks. Carlton 5. This will be his 50th career goal if he gets this, Richie Vandenberg.
Going to get it on the siren if he does.
On the siren, a big kick for the captain. And he misses. And he realises the significance of the miss. We've got a ball game on here at the Telstra Dome with 1 quarter to play. Round 6 action between Carlton and Hawthorn. The Blues 7-8-50, trailed by 3 goals. Hawthorn 10-8-68. It's 18 points the difference when we return on Friday Night Football.
In 1987, Robert Walls and Stephen Kernahan achieved AFL immortality.
I was really confident that the team would win. I would have bet my house on it.
Wednesday, in the first of a 2-part exclusive Fox Footy feature, Wallsy catches up with his former charge to discover what it took to get to that dais.
I've never trained harder than I did. 86, 87 was war out here.
And how the young captain coped when tragedy struck.
Look, he's got his life, thank God, and a lot of times he wasn't going to get there.
Part 1 of Return to Sender with Stephen Kernahan, Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
It's all good, mate.
Win your mum a great Byron Bay getaway from Harvey Norman this Mother's Day. There are 100 3-day luxurious Byron at Byron Resort and Spa prizes to be won. Your mum can enjoy this idyllic lush rainforest setting, miles away from the day-to-day worries of life, with a getaway for 2, including a Sea of Serenity package at the Byron at Byron Day Spa. Just make a purchase of a great Mother's Day gift from Harvey Norman, fill in the entry form provided, and your mum's in the draw. Make your mum's day with Harvey Norman and the perfect hideaway. Byron at Byron Resort.
As your team goes through its final preparations for the weekend's matchup, let Fox Footy remind you what happened last time the sides collided. Footy is all about passion and history. Relive the passion. Thursdays and Fridays on Last Time They Met.
And Camporelli starts the game on centre wing as we get into it with Dennis Cometti.
Final term, Friday Night Football. Koutafidis dragged down, moved it a couple of metres. Mitchell did well. Into the path of Everett, takes on the tackler. Crunch. Teague got him, spills to Johnson. Johnson sends play down towards half forward. Plenty of Hawks there. Blue came stumbling out of the pack, and it's going to be a free kick to Betts, the man in front. The spot to be. No doubting that. Osborne pushing him. Brown marked it, but Osborne doing the wrong thing, and as a result, Betts gets it to Waite, and Waite will line up at his 5th.
This is exactly the start they want, Doom, just to put some doubts in Hawthorn's mind.
Well, they had to win the ball out of the centre. It looked like they weren't going to, the Blues, but they went with their 2 best ball winners. There's the push by Osborne before acceptances, and they've gone with Koutafidis and Brett Johnson as Mel Brown.
Not happy because Campbell took the mark.
Wasn't against young Campbell.
In comes Waite, and he tugs it left and through for a behind. Let's go down to the dock.
Well, as Tony said, Scott Camporelli had a lot to say, but that right knee is also talking to him a lot. He's quite limited. He's out there with the knee strapped with a medial ligament injury, but he's a bit limited. Chance Bateman had a stinger, Gary, with the right shoulder, but he's out there, but he'll be a little bit tentative.
Not the dreaded stinger.
Stinger. One of your old teammates goes. Stinger.
Oh, yes.
for best series as well in the Logies on Sunday. Stingers, as Lance gets his hand to the ball, over the line it goes. We'll have a throw in. Good play by Lance Whitnell.
Yeah, and he's going to have a big last quarter. He's capable of doing that, of course, and might have been unlucky not to get a trip, but DeLuca in the square, Whitnell out of the square. It looks a bit more dangerous with weight floating across half forward.
So the Blues could have easily had a goal on the board already. Kouta-Fidi's lifting now. Close on the boundary line. The captain hooks it back. Up towards DeLuca. Was he pushing the back? Nose it down by. Here's a chance for Wade at ground level. Throws the ball out. Good play by Clark for Hawthorn. Got the handle out to the man with a stinger in his shoulder. Chance Bateman gets it out. Here's Miller. That defensive 50.
Got a shepherd for him.
Third good. Led hard. Great player. Then dropped it. Did everything right. Then mucked it up in the last minute. Wiggins for Carlton. Just since the Blues have lifted at the moment. Sore knee and all. Handball's in from Camperelli to Scotland, who lifted in the last 10 minutes of the third quarter. Puts it out in front of Kouta, who takes the mark.
55 metres out, Kouta-Fidi's into the path of Whitnell. Oh, dear. And Whitnell on the burst. As much as he can. Has marked 25 metres out, his first mark tonight.
Well, that says something, doesn't it? But the two players that you would probably be hanging your hat on, Lance Whitnell and Anthony Kouta-Fidi's involved in this passage of play. So he kicks truly here. They've got a little bit, or got more than a little bit of a sniff. They're back in it.
Just the right amount of time on the lead too, because Johnny Hayes got amazing closing pace, and had that lead had to have extended out another 3 or 4 metres, he might have got reeled in. So it's worked in his favour there.
Got to kick it. Got to kick
it. It's a must.
8 goals for the season, Lance Whitnell, including 4 against Essendon round 2. Twice he's kicked 5 against the Hawks. That won't happen tonight, but at least he's got his first. And that's a big one in the context of this game.
Well, it's massive, really, because as Tony told us, that there's some belief in the huddle, but that belief, there can sometimes be a lot of false bravado, and it can get snuffed out pretty quickly. But they've had one shot at goal from Waite. Mark inside 50, a dangerous forward. They've got a big mark from Cooter, and now they've got a goal from Lance, potentially their most dangerous forward. So this contest is well and truly on.
Suddenly we're inside 2 goals. And the Blues have kicked back-to-back. They got the last one of the third quarter and the first of the last. It's been all Carlton in this final term so far as Stevens gets it out to Scotland. High up and under with the left boot. Out towards Lappin, who got in the back of his opponent. And that'll make Mel Brown smile, because Campbell has got it. Campbell Brown just all over the place on that occasion.
Osborne sneaked ahead by 5-10 metres. Lappin just, well, he shuffles back. He's 5 metres back from the man on the mark, as the man on the mark here, so he can run and smother this. Doesn't elect to.
Campbell Brown goes straight up the line, up towards Spider Everett. T flew in with the ball, did it beautifully. Great courage, good poise, gets it over to Scotland. That's a better kick with his right foot, just over the head of Waite. Just had a bit too much on it. Thurgood's got it. Looks up, gets a lead from Crawford. The kick, well, he hit it off his shin, basically. It was a bad bounce for Crawford. Good play by Walker. Handball's inside to Stevens. Nice poise, held the ball up. The kick was an ordinary one, though, inside. It'll bounce nicely, though, for Chambers. Over the top it goes to the dangerous Waite. He fended off 2 opponents, then got it away. Picked up now by Wiggins. Wiggins has kicked the Lance. He's come alive. Lance could not buy a kick for the first 3 quarters, and now the big man has got an appetite for goals.
What he's doing is playing very close to goals now, and he's just reading the time of when to lead out from the goal square. As we all know, he's very intelligent, but he's timing the lead. It's not blistering pace, as you would expect not.
Josh Thurgood, who's been great and has a go, has Shane Crawford breaking the wing on his own, misses the kick, ball turned over. This is the result.
Lance Whitnell to get Carlton back within a kick. Oh, he's put it through. We've got a 5-point ball game here at the Telstra Dome.
Yeah, wouldn't they love it to have that man, but they haven't. And now they have got some sort of a head of steam up. And just some of the little mistakes that are creeping in. A couple of missed tackles there. One from Sammy Mitchell allowed him to get the ball to Wiggins, and Wiggins hit Lance Whitnell on the chest. So all of a sudden, we had 21 possessions in this quarter to Hawthorn 7. They have to get busy. They've got to find some footy. They've got to get some leadership, the Hawks.
Problems for that man. Carlton have kicked the last 3 goals in this contest. I said Whitnell wouldn't get 5. Well, I am reconsidering as we speak. 68-63. Still plenty of time. Good bounce from the central umpire, Umpire McLaren. Diving in there is Mitchell. Over the top, Johnson. Two tough hombres, and we'll have a ball up.
Koutafidis onto the ball. Has had the pill 3 times in this last quarter. Scotland's found it as well. He should finish with some running here.
Ruckman lock up this time. A battle of wills. Backhanded down. Dug out at the centre. The high ball comes down from Hodge to half forward. Franklin got a fist on it. Into the path of Everett. Hand passes Goldwood. No concessions made there. Williams on a collision course. Franklin battles it towards full forward. Off the ground, I think, by Crawford. It's still not across the line. Now French carries it across. And Hawthorn increased their lead. It's all of 6 points now, and Carlton are making their move. A real rally by the Blues. Houlihan to the pocket. Play on. Not 15 is the call. Scotland out of defence. Up towards the wing. Chambers had it fisted away by Thurgood. Out of bounds it goes.
A couple of big positional moves. We've got Dixon now has gone on to Waite. Thurgood being moved off him.
No ruckman here. Koutafidis will go for it, and he will outmuscle anybody that Hawthorn can put up against him.
Well, Thurgood's going to have to do it, so he'll certainly outmuscle him. He didn't have to. Dangerous play by Kuta, but he got the handball away. Chambers now over the top, was picked up by Vandenberg. Vandenberg stops and props and handballs and did pretty well in the end. And we'll have a throw in at half-forward flank for the Hawthorn side.
Sammy Mitchell saying, show us a ruckman. Get a ruckman here.
49,018, a great crowd in tonight.
Everett gets there now.
Hope you're enjoying it on Friday Night Football. We've got a thriller here. Goal the difference. Hawthorn in front of the Blues. Camporelli tries to flick it out. Hodge ridden into the ground. Will get a free kick.
Well, Hodge had 20 touches at half-time. He's just got 26, and you've got to say that Jordan Bannister has done a very, very good job on him.
The two captains lock horns, Koutafidis and Vandenberg. Hodge concedes some ground to Thurgood. Needs a better kick with this one. He decides to go long. Well, it looked like he was going to go long. It ended up going short. He's turned it over. It was a shocker. It comes out the back now. Away go Carlton. Johnson to Lappin. Skinny Lappin's got it in the centre of Telstra Dome. He bombs it long. They've got the numbers. Carlton, they've got the mark. White again has marked 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. And Waite, who already has a career-high 4 goals for the night, can kick goal number 5. 4 goals, 2.
8 marks for him. 16 possessions. He's been his most dangerous when he's run with the flight. Run with the direction of the footy. As you call it, Gary, turned his opponent around.
Good mark by Heath Scotland to get it all going, and Thurgood's kick gets him kicked off the ground.
But a difficult match up this bloke all night, Jared Waite.
Jared Waite to make scores level. With 13.5 minutes left in the game, he starts at left, he bends it right, it stays through the middle, he's got it, scores a level, he's kicked 5.
Well, that is a fantastic return for Jared Waite, who, in the absence of Brendan Favola, when early in the game they were looking ordinary, has duly stood up. And once again, it was young Josh Thurgood. He turned one over, he missed Shane Crawford out here on the wing earlier. That cost him a goal when Whitwell marked, and then he just turned that one over, and it's now also ended up in the hands of Waite, who kicked the goal. So just a superb performance by Waite.
Marks inside 50 this term. Carlton 4, Hawthorn 0, reversing the trend. 19-5 at three-quarter time. 10-9 apiece, everything to play for. Everett backhands it down. Johnson had it, lost it, crashing in Vandenberg. Rolls out of the pack, or attempted to. There's your role model, and we'll have a bounce alongside the centre circle.
Walker got on to Crawford, and Crawford had 14 or 15 up to half-time. He's only had 18 touches, so young Andrew Walker doing a good job on Shane Crawford.
Carlton have got the last 4 goals in this game. Everett knocks it wide, taken away by Walker, though. High ball to half-forward. Dixon worked Waite out of it. Waite falling to the ground, got it to Betts. Any score, Carlton will lead. Betts turns around. It's a 6-point lead. His second.
Once again, Eddie Betts, just the knowledge of what his opponent is doing. He's in a tackle. You can see that he senses it and he's got to get rid of it. But what he does is he senses his man's on the ground, so he can just step through it and take a shot at goal without any real pressure, even though he's right amongst, there were, what would you say, about 4 or 5 blokes within about a 4-metre circle of him. but he recognises the direct pressure has gone. Sensed his man went to ground.
Eddie Betts stands up, dropped last week, back in the side, he's kicked 2 goals. Carlton have kicked the last 5. Can you believe it? Hawthorn have had 12 possessions. We've been playing just under 12 minutes in the final term.
Yeah, look, it's almost self-fulfilling. You keep telling yourself the opposition are gone. You get the first goal or 2, and all of a sudden their head of steam is irrepressible.
4 goals in 11 minutes to the Blues. Everett gets the tap. Kudafiti storms in. Does well. So too did Clark.
For the 3rd time tonight, Joel Smith goes on to Jared Waite.
Stevens gets the kick up towards Waite over his head. Into the Pagans, paddock it goes. It's picked up by Osmond. It's got a touch of the fumbles now. He's had a great night so far. Shows some composure and then a beautiful kick. Well done to Osmond. That was magnificent football. Franklin Marks at half-back flank.
They can't go into their shell, Hawthorn. They need to keep attacking the game.
Houlihan had Rees done all day, just fended him off and took the mark at half-back flank.
They won't get it with efforts like that.
Houlihan. Carlton have just got the composure at the moment. Kudafiti plucks it out of the air. Bateman unable to get the hand up because of that stinger that the doctor told us about in his shoulder. Kudafiti kicks up towards Lance Whitnell at forward 50 off hands. Chambers at the fall of the ball does it well to kick it inside 50. And he'll take that and throw in 40 metres out from the Carlton goal. They lead by 1 goal. They hit the front for the first time since the 12 and 3/4 minute mark of the first term. It'll be Carlton's greatest comeback in 150 games against Hawthorn from an 18-point deficit at 3/4 time if they can hang on.
Boundary throw in, reaching over the top. Taylor knocks it down in front. Mitchell taken high, and the umpire in perfect position.
They've got to get this into the middle of the ground. If they keep going down the line, they haven't got enough strength at centre-half forward, although Everett's there now. They've got to try and get this in the middle of the ground and run.
In the opposite pocket, this is Dixon. Plays on, goes wide. There's a man who can run. Crawford takes his time, settles on the wing, goes to half forward. Coming across on the angle, Scotland too easy. It needed to be out in front of Miller, it wasn't. And as a result, the former Magpie able to easily get a fist in there. And Carlton will regroup or maybe reload at half-back. They're playing irresistible football at the moment, but they lead by only 6.
Just a correction, Dixon is still on Waite, and Joel Smith ran straight past him to pick up Chambers.
Ball falls in front. Miller hard against the boundary line, feeds it to Taylor. Taylor, that was ambitious. French is over the football. Clark is over him. Eventually the ball spills a couple of metres, but it's not going anywhere fast. Ball up. Just under 11 minutes, still full time.
Right, then, boys, time and time again you see this possession game just go to pieces when the pressure comes on.
Well, it started off this quarter. I mean, the last, 5-6 goals, Carlton have just won the footy at the stoppages. They have just taken the footy away, and they're able to play their own pace then.
And they get weary, and their skills get ugly and messy.
Just as we saw then. Maybe the big kick inside 50 would have been the answer. In the meantime, Crawford does it well. Gets it out. Now the Hawks are a chance. The kick inside 50 falls nicely. Rees inside. Osmond lines up the goal. They need this, the Hawks, and they get it. Osmond delivers, scores a level again for the 2nd time this quarter.
And it came from the clearance goes.
Yeah,
it was out on the wing there. Whoever gets the most clearances from here in wins the game. It's simple as that. So, therefore, Kudafidis, Brett Johnson, Sam Mitchell and Shane Crawford are the 4 most important players on this ground. Respectively, whoever stands up best from now out of those 4 wins the game.
And isn't it amazing when you see a team get a run on like Carlton, as soon as they get their nose in front, it stops.
75 points apiece midway through this final term. Again, the 2 ruckman battle. They fight a draw, fell at their feet. Crawford did well, cleared a path for Hodge, who kicks it down towards half forward. Rees on his knees, over the top. Houlihan did very well in the grasp, got it away. Kudafidis to Scotland at half back. Comes out wide, Stevens in full stride. Hair bobbing, runs to the wing, looks to half forward. That's not going to get there. It was intended for Whitnell. Bateman going back, did well. Plays on across half-back. Brown dropped the mark. Swooping on the crumb now. Lappin. 45 metres out. Sprays it very wide. Out of bounds on the full. Hawthorn ball.
You can't blame Campbell Brown for that. It's a positive error. He went for the footy, but the ball was directed at Luke Hodge, the safety man with the footy.
think you still blame him for that one.
Oh, you blame him for the skiller of dropping it.
You'd rather he took it.
Oh, absolutely.
Crowd out of the back pocket to half back. Big Taylor goes up, takes the mark. Taylor looks back towards the middle, comes to Dixon, still in his defensive 50. Just over 9.5 minutes now, locked together at 75 apiece. Dennis Pagan has been down this road already this season. The first draw of his competition in 13 seasons.
Going to turn around quickly down the line. They've got players that just have to run, Hawthorn.
Yeah, they have to move, don't they? They're a bit stagnant here. They're running into the same spots, as you can see from that shot. All coming into this side of the ground. They need to try and get it in the middle somehow.
Hawks have led for 87 of the 104 minutes played. The kick was up to Teague, who's been fantastic tonight.
Not where they want to go.
Teague lays it off to Thornton, has a bounce. Oh, in the middle of the ground, it's on. If he can look up and see what's going on. He decides to carry the ball though. Keep on bouncing. He goes short with a kick. Simpson gives it back to Thornton. Now inside 50 he goes, sets it up. Oh, the Hawks, they mucked it up. Hodge, they had it all there. They just mucked it up. Hay gets it out. Smith. Now Hawthorn are away. Have a look at this, all out on his own. Harry Miller, he can kick the Spider Everett who's inside 50. He does. It was a good kick because Spider was able to run another 10 metres inside and will line up from 30 metres out to put Hawthorn back in front.
Actually, young Harry Miller summed this up pretty well. He could have kicked it to Spider straight away because he was a big play by Crawford to Smith. Could have kicked it straight away, but what he elected to do was run, which meant that Spider ran closer to goal. He could have kicked it to him there, which would mean Spider kicked from 50, but he ran and now he kicks from 30.
First mark inside 50 for the quarter for Hawthorn. To hit the front, Spider Everett. Kicks and kicks beautifully. Right through the middle. It's a goal to Hawthorn. They lead by 6 points.
This game is as good as dead set level right now. Even though the Hawks are a goal ahead, in this quarter Carlton have showed a better ability to clear the footy. And it's going at about 3-1 in clearance rates in this quarter. So Carlton is still a monstrous chance to pinch this game.
Not sure that Brett Thornton's decision to run with a footy when he had to walk around in space was
had to get it off
all
there.
that smart.
Well, sometimes teams revert to type, and right here we've got shenanigans. 81-75. A bit going on, lots of mistakes, but so tight on the scoreboard. Crawford trying to knock it to half forward. Scotland to Johnson. Johnson getting so much of it. To half forward for his side, off hands, Wade in trouble, got his arms free, well done to Betts, tries to get his body free, Hodge took him down, drummed there by Chambers, smothered off the boot, comes back to Johnson, Johnson keeps it going, Walker the hurried kick out of the congestion, now the Blues have got the numbers, Whitnell feeds it back towards the middle, Betts twisting, turning, and what's he done? He's got it, his third!
Just got to lay a tackle on that little fella out there. He's been lively and terrific. Johnson's been important again in the congested play, was able to get out. It's a very smart kick by Walker, banged it on the boot. But then you just got to stick that tackle there. I know it's hard on Osborne, who's been very good, but you've got to lay a tackle because if you don't, he's just too slippery and too lively.
Eddie Betts went back to the VFL last week and kicked 6. He's come out tonight and kicked 3, including the last 2 for Carlton.
Good effort.
Scores have been levelled 3 times in this term. It's 5 goals to 2 Carlton's way. Scores are level again at the Telstra Dome. Sit back and get ready for the last 7 minutes 20 of a fantastic game of football. Now it's Hawthorn's turn. Hodge just pulled the kick at the Franklin, who's got it.
He made him run to that. He made him go for that footy.
Franklin's got it on centre wing. Hodge ran past, couldn't get a break, so he goes short now. Franklin up towards the forward 50 off hands. Teague's there, got it away. Scotland has lifted in the last half hour of play, and Betts has got away again. Eddie Betts can look out wide. Chambers is all on his own. He didn't see him in time. Looking for Lance. Lance is dancing up and down. He decides to go wider still up the Lappin. Has got it. Now, Matthew Lappin, during the week, had to take a kick for Nova Radio for $10,000. 20 players lined up, didn't get anywhere near it. One commentator got very close. But Lappin hit it for the 10 grand when it counted.
Well, I tell you, he didn't hit it, and that was Lance Franklin up the other end. He had to attack the goal square where Peter Everett was. Instead, he tried to pinpoint a pass to Nick Rees, of all players.
He hit the target for $10,000. This possibly for 4 points. Lappin comes in, he's done it again. 7th goal of the season, first of the night. The Blues in front by a goal.
Very valid call you make, Gaz, because Big Simon Taylor's in the ruck, and what it's doing, they're trying to force Carlton into a little bit of a panic mode here and push Barnaby French out of the ruck to go with him, and hopefully Taylor will be able to take on DeLuca and just wrest away this ascendancy in the middle. Carlton are sticking to their guns. They're staying with Barnaby French in the middle. He had to kick the ball to Spider Everett 20 metres out.
Everett now got Carlton. I mean, it's a very good bet.
Carlton by 6 points. Under 6.5 minutes to go. French and Taylor. One down by Taylor. Stevens onto the loose ball, lays it off. Scotland getting plenty of it now towards half forward. Crawford gets across on the angle. Gathers the bouncing ball, goes towards the wing. Vandenberg knocked it away from Simpson. Simpson right in his hip pocket, wins the football back. He's away now, storms beyond the wing, looks down towards half forward, coming up in the lead Wiggins, knocked away by Smith. Smith goes again, crashed into, loose ball close to the boundary. Wiggins initially kept his feet, stumbles, the kick as a result affected. Hayes slides in, gets a hand pass away to Osborne. Osborne runs away from half back, penetrating kick. Spider couldn't hang on initially. He's dragged it in, stolen away there by Bannister, slaps it out. Chance for Simpson. Going in strongly as Clark. Clark and Simpson tie it up. And we'll have a ball up on the wing as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, just Camporelli off the ground on the warm-up bike in the race. A little bit proppy with that medial ligament on his knee, but just freshening up. I think he'll get back out to see the end of the game on the ground.
Clark tries to get a break in the play there, was dragged down by Simpson, who wanted the free kick. Umpire quite rightly, Scott McLaren says we'll have a bounce.
You see Spider Everett and Taylor there in the shot. Spider's got to work down forward for Hawthorn. Long time ago since we've seen a draw on Friday night footy back in 1996. They've got to get a big target, Hawthorn.
Okay, Taylor up against French. French gets a tap to Koutafidis, who threaded the needle. Great play to Johnson, inside 50 it goes. Good play by Hay, just edged right out of it. Lappin's got it. He's got the kick around to Houlihan. Houlihan out in front of Lance. Out he comes. Lance Whitnell dancing one way then the other, then squares it up and finds Lappin. And Lappin from 50 metres out is a very, very good chance here to give Carlton the break they require. Inside 5 minutes left in this game.
Well, Lance has found a bit in the last quarter, and he had to. He's just so clever. You wonder what was going on in that first 3 quarters, but he didn't look like it. He's got Crode now. Hayes been moved off him, and that was a very well taken mark. Looked like it might have bounced off from the naked eye, but Matthew Lappin also has had a pretty dirty night, but stepped up at the right time.
That was no easy ball to mark. Lappin steps to the 50. Gives it a ride, but hangs it out to the right. The margin is 7 points.
Who's going to say it?
On its way, it's handy.
Might be a handy point, that.
And they do get stagnant out of the kick-ins, Hawthorn. Carlton are really going to have to do as good a one-man press after this initial kick-in as you'd see in league footy. Lance Franklin comes up. Now, that is a mistake, because if they do win possession, there's nobody at half forward.
Smith just outside the 50. Osborne was up through his fingertips. Koutafidis got the crumb, heads for the boundary line. Hawks want deliberate, so do their fans. Umpire McLaren having none of it. Boundary throw in about 60 metres from goal. Hodge has been outstanding. Osborne very good.
Kouta's lifted.
Thrown in right on the 50 virtually. French hooks it down. Walker into the path of Koutafidis, stolen away by Mitchell. Mitchell drives it to the outer side. This will be interesting. Foot race. In front is Miller. Scotland is closing. Too easy. Scotland well played. Wonderful experience and poise right there. Chambers sold into trouble. Kept his head, got boot to ball. And Smith takes the mark across half back. His side down by 7 points. But still plenty of time.
Miller went one-handed again, and you can't do that inside 4 minutes with Heath Scotland breathing down your throat. Well, here we go. Ball out of bounds, 3 minutes 52. Hawthorn have got to score twice. Throw in on the outer side of the Telstra Dome. Big Taylor up against French, who's battled hard all night. Barnaby up against the tall timbers. He's been fantastic. Over his head, Hodge tries to trap it. He does it well. Kicks it forward. Miller does better that time. He gets it out to Bateman. Here's the chance for the Hawks. Bateman now kicks inside 50. Franklin's back. Teague got his body behind him. It's a mark. It's a mark to Dixon. Slid in underneath it. Did it beautifully. Now Dixon will kick from right on 50.
He had Hodge inside 50. He'd gone to full forward. He and Wiggins have been at it while the ball's at the other end of the ground. Can kick a goal, Ben Dixon.
So Dixon comes in. Has kicked one behind for the night so far from right on 50. They need a goal, the Hawks. And Dixon has missed. He's got a second point. Well, it's a goal the difference with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock.
You're about 60 seconds too far out for Carlton to start running down the clock.
Got to score, you reckon, for one more?
Yeah.
They just got to score again, the Blues.
They still have to play their natural game, Carlton.
French.
Stevens to himself then and goes in that direction. French doesn't get to the contest, but Bannister.
Pretty good.
Bannister at half back, goes long to half forward, slipping in behind the defence is Simpson. Doesn't take the mark, but he runs down towards the 50, 55 metres out, settles, goes for goal, puts it across the face, lurking behind his Betts. He couldn't hang on, and ricochets off his fingertips and out of bounds.
Just needed a score there.
Now, Carlton have to shuffle down. They are now. They're coming from the back line. Even their back line players come up. It's almost like they're going to leave the forwards to try and lock this ball in.
Arjun, 6 points. Carlton lead on their forward line. Brown clears the zone, at least initially. Stevens got it from Chambers. Looking for a point. It will do, I think. And that makes it difficult for the Hawks, but still they do have time.
They're going to take it on here. They're going to take the game on if they're going to score twice.
Yeah, Huddle forming at centre half forward. Smith with the ball in his hand. The clock will start as soon as he kicks. 2:28 left. Carlton come from the clouds.
Has to hold the centre of the ground. Under pressure, he'll go up the middle.
6 goals to do in this final quarter in Carlton's favour. Waits back there, so too French off the hands of the pack. This bloke Teague has been fantastic tonight. He was whacked as he took his kick. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. So another chance for Hawthorn.
Clock stops.
Clark concedes to Bateman. We're going to have to get going. Over the head of Hodge. It sits, it bounces. Good pressure from Betts. Hodge was magnificent. Out to Thurgood. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Thurgood kicks up the line. Now they're away, Hawthorn. They're a chance. Over to Campbell. Brown again, go all the way. Must kick a goal from 55. He lines it up. Franklin's in the square. Is he being held? Yeah, no, it's off hands. I thought there was a whistle. Off hands through for a point. So we're back to a goal.
That was brilliant by Hodge. He drew the second man to him simply by dwelling over the football, didn't he?
And then he had the composure just to paddle the ball along, not possess it and cop the tackle.
Hodge, a career best 32 possessions tonight.
Been great.
So Stevens.
Must press man on man here.
For himself again.
Big play here.
Drives it short of the wing. And the man who marked the last one in a pack marks uncontested this time. Bannister. He's been invaluable. Looks back towards the pocket. They're closed down, so play on's the call. Bannister runs forward from half-back. Long kick, hugging the boundary line. Loose ball at the back of the pack. Opportunity for Brown, head down. Smith comes away with it. 6 points the difference, and they're building from the back. Here come the Hawks. He kicks towards half-forward. Up in front, Crawford missed it. Plenty of Blues back there, close to the boundary line. And out it goes.
Well, they're going to Peter Everett. What is he going to contest the boundary throw-in or plop himself with a goal square and maybe take the match-saving mark?
He's going to have a crack from the throw-in.
Right.
Make his own luck.
Which leaves Franklin and Dixon as the 2 key forwards.
French and Everett do the ruck work. Slapped forward by Spider. It was a beautiful tap too as well. Hodge for his 33rd. Miller's in there as well. The clock keeps ticking. Now it stops at 59 seconds. 1 goal the difference. Not much Alistair Clarkson can do now.
Got to choke it down here, the Blues.
Everett knocks it forward again. Hodge slaps it further afield. Good play. Spills to Vandenberg. Was he taken high? Umpire calls play on it. Spills to Everett. Now comes Everett. He couldn't quite grab it. French in the pressure. Bannister's there as well. Dives in on top of it. They were a bit over anxious, the Hawks. They could have wrapped him up. They didn't need to jump on him. He had to knock it out. And the clock stops at 38 seconds. Just needed to hold off him. We're inside Hawthorn's 50 with 37 seconds left on the clock.
Good umpiring too, wasted little time at the stoppages. Stevens, clever, pulled the kick, got it to Chambers. We're down to 28 seconds, and that one was centimetre perfect. It bounces out of bounds on the wing.
Is this a free kick to Richie Vandenberg? Ducked his head. Play on, good umpiring, and then the beautiful kick from Nick Stevens then just might have wrapped the game up.
Still time. 6 points the difference. Mitchell in front. He's tough as a 65 ute. Down he goes. Dragged down. Chambers tried to kick it out of there. Hurt his knee because the man Thurgood fell across his leg. Chambers very slow to get up, and he gets up gingerly.
Thurgood's holding his arm as well, so they're all throwing themselves in.
You reckon Carlton drop a man back here? Quick kick out is their best chance, the only chance for Hawthorn, and Carlton have left them with an enormous amount of space.
So much time generally wasted in this situation. Not tonight. Great to see. We're down to 12 seconds. Clock is running now. Carlton need to hold once more. This may well do it. They lock it up at 4. Well, all they can hope for now is a clean takeaway, Hawthorn, and a mark inside their 50. A straight kick and a tie.
I need a free kick and then 50, Dennis.
Well,
not going to happen.
That is an anticlimax. I was praising them all the way, and suddenly the clock just goes with the ball in the umpire's hand. Disappointing end to it all, but a fantastic win to Carlton, who came from behind, and they win by 6 points. This is Carlton's greatest comeback from a three-quarter time deficit against Hawthorn. Well done to the Blues, who trailed for so long tonight, but when it counted, they found more. As simple as that.
In their 150th meeting, Carlton stretch it to 102 to 48. The Hawks are led by 26 points at the 2-minute mark of the second term. Scores were level 3 times during the last quarter, and Carlton have got up to win by a goal. Let's go down to Tony Jones, who's with Jared Waite, who was absolutely fantastic tonight with 5 goals too.
Yeah, it certainly was, and a bit of a reluctant hero too, I've got to say. But also got to say, what are you trying to do? You've got a president recovering at home from heart surgery watching this. You're trying to do him in.
Yeah, nah. Hopefully he's getting better, Colo, but good game by the boys. Good 4 quarters. A bit too close to comfort again. Port Adelaide was a close one on this one. We like doing it the hard way down to the Blues, but it was a good win.
Well, 5 goals to you. Did you feel as though you had to stand up in the absence of Brendan Favola?
It was just good that they kicked to me. But usually they go with the shag, the big hair, and actually got a few passes today. But no, it's good effort for the boys. And it's just good to know that we can actually play well without Brendan there.
And more importantly, you really did need this win too, didn't you, given the way that the season is?
2, right? 1.5 wins, 2.5 now. It's bloody good. So, yeah, good effort by the boys. Good support by all the supporters. Stick with us. Yeah.
Well, there's a medal up for grabs in the rooms. You never know your luck in a big city, Jared. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks.
Enjoy the big hits and great goals.
Oh, good play, Cracker. Over to his brother.
As we unlock the Fox Footy Vault. Tuesdays on Fox Footy Channel.
From the Fox Footy Vault.
For who? What do you mean? Everyone.
The Gospel, Friday on Fox Footy Channel.